Welcome to Highway to Helms in 3, 2, 1.
Another day, another dollar as I holler to the world. I love the way I'm living, love the Gucci, love the girls, love the parties and the clubs, love the models and hot tubs, love the German engineering set on deep dish dubs. Another tour around the world, entertaining the fans. I love walking through the airport, taking pictures, shaking hands. Every day for me's an oyster, crack it open, find the pearl. I love the way I live is what I holler to the world. Wake up in my bed and I'm feeling kinda stuck from this Tempur-Pedic mattress. I don't wanna get up, roll out.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Highway to Helms. To my immediate fucking right over here, clown as always, Big Misery, Mike Maverick, and his partner, what I give you? Cantankerous
CueBall.
Cantankerous CueBall Carmichael.
Great.
The tag team of negative reinforcement. We got a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about today. We're going to get to the bottom of some shit. We might get to the top of some shit. Going to get in the middle of some shit. But first, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors. As always, highspots.com. They give you all your paraphernalia needs as far as wrestling goes. DVDs, action figures, t-shirts, wrestling rings. If you need knee pads, elbow pads, if you're a wrestler, they can help you out. Helms.com, of course. Why would I not support my own podcast? We also got to thank Figure4apps.com, the producers of the I'm a Wrestling Fan app, which is being updated and added to Android, I guess, next week. It'll be official out on Android. Also, I'm a Fight Fan. Same concept as I'm a Wrestling Fan, but for MMA. And big MMA news we'll be talking about later on. Same concept for I'm a Race Fan. NASCAR Indy fans, follow this, Hermie Sadler's favorite app. Find out all the races near you at the touch of a finger. Same thing for Comic Con, which I was just a big part of. The camera's still not on you, just by the way. If you've never been to a Comic Con, man, those things are a lot of fun. Also, we got to put over the official Shane Helms app. The updates for that are going to be pretty smooth. I finally took some new pictures. I know I'm lazy. And we got to plug something these guys are going to be involved in this Saturday, July 20th, I'm being told. Where's it going to be at, Q?
It's in Fayetteville, North Carolina, the RWC Training Center, which is at Gold's Gym.
Okay. Well, speak on it a little bit more.
10 to 2. Big Daddy Mike Maverick and I are doing a little advanced pro wrestling training seminar. What we're trying to do is teach guys what they look for at the top. We're kind of privy to a couple guys at the top, at least I am. And, we know what they look for. And I always say the guys on the independents are taught to make applesauce. The problem is the guys at the top are looking for mashed potatoes. They look the same, they taste completely different. So you got to learn to make mashed potatoes if you want to go to the top.
I can tell you how to get a job with the WWE. I can tell you how to get fired from the same job.
And have fun doing it.
So we got things to offer. By advanced seminar, what that means is we're assuming
it's not
guys,
for beginners.
Right. The guys that come, we're assuming you've already got your fundamentals. We're going to talk more about storytelling and matches, psychology, which is something that seems to be kind of an antiquated concept a lot of times these days, especially on a lot of indie shows. And
how dare you, sir?
How dare you?
How dare you say the truth?
But we've only got we were sold out, and then we 3 guys got run over by a bus or something.
A bus and then a truck, and then they fell out of a plane.
Right. So we were actually oversold by 1 spot. So we got two, 3. Well,
Yeah, 2.
If there's 3 of you that want to come,
right.
we'll squeeze an extra guy in there. But you got 3 days, 4 days, so.
Jump on it.
Jump on it. Don't
Jump
miss
on
it.
it.
Jump on it. Sounds good. Sounds like a good deal.
It will be great.
It's gonna be fun. It'll be entertaining. The 2 of us goofs there doing it, but they'll also learn a lot. And like Mike said, there's a big void in the independents. We all came up at a time when guys knew their shit and don't know shit. So you gotta learn your shit.
Yep. You think it's because of the lack of teaching out there?
Oh, absolutely.
Lack of quality. There's plenty of teaching out there. It's just
bad.
Quality teaching is the thing. It's so easy. I heard you. I was watching your the one you did. Our RF video sold the DVD of the seminar you did.
Oh, okay. My seminar, yeah.
Yeah, and I heard you telling one of the guys about social media and how the way the business is. And you remember, I mean, a lot of people think.
I should see. This would be a good time for me to plug my DVD, but I don't fucking have it.
You know why you don't have it?
Because you took it.
Yeah. But you were telling one of the guys that just basically the way the business is now, it's easier to get into the business than say when you and I started. I mean, you started a long time ago. I mean, a lot of people, you know, not to date you with your age or anything, but you, what is it, 20, 23, 24 years since you started?
Yeah, I'm going into 24.
So he started, you know, you started before, CueBall started before I did, and I started technically in 1986, which, I mean, just people now don't realize how different the business was back then.
No, not at all.
I mean, it's not, I'm not just sugarcoating the good old days, I'm just saying it was different. I mean, as far as, you know, it being a closed shop where, you know, you didn't just walk in off the street and say, you know, I want to come in here and wrestle. You know, you'd walk in there and they'd beat the dog shit out of you and send you home. Because the business was protected, they kayfabed it, and they weren't just going to let, you know, anybody walk in off the street and learn what the business was about, unless you were serious. So, I mean, that's, I don't want to spend, I don't want to give the whole seminar now, but I'm just saying there's a lot of things that can be carried over from that era to this era that can be beneficial.
Yeah, sure. Q, so how long have you been working exactly? Were you the first wrestler of all time?
Only a couple years working.
Were you in the original Olympics?
Well, Moses trained me, so that gives you an idea.
30 years.
30 years. 30 years as of October. As of March 5th this past year, 2013, 30 years.
Nice.
And CueBall was talking about good training. Correct me if I'm wrong. You first went to the Maivia school in Hawaii.
Yep.
And then you later, a couple of years later, you trained up at Thesz school in Virginia.
5 years after I got in, I'd moved back to the East Coast, and I got this harebrained idea that nothing could be more physical or rougher than it was at Palama Settlement Gym getting trained by Samoans, who the smallest one was 100 pounds heavier than me. I said, nah, this can't be that rough. And so I contacted Thesz, and he sent me this beautiful letter.
How do you contact Thesz at this point?
Well, at that...
With a medium?
Yeah. Not at this point, you don't contact him at all. But I talked to his wife yesterday. But, you know, I got a hold of him, and he invited me down. So I went down and I met him and Mark Fleming at Gann Athletic Center, and they showed me what they do, and they took me to the ring and stuff. And Lou says, I don't take everybody. Talk to me for like an hour. And I went home, and I'm like, you know, 2.5 hours back home. I don't know if he's going to call or write a letter or send flowers or what. And about 5 days later, I get a letter. It said, I'd like to cordially invite you to train with us at our academy. I'm like, wow, invite? Sounds like a party. This is going to be fun. Oh, my God, man. Between him and Mark Fleming, I mean, those guys, not a lot of people know the name Mark Fleming, but Mark did 30-plus tours Japan. Real popular. I always said that if world championships in wrestling were based on skill and ability, he probably would be world champion. He was that good. Not a lot of charisma, but he was real good. But those guys, I mean, he was trained by Gene and Ole Anderson. So then he ends up there and gets mentored by Lou, and it was just so rough. I mean, they ran you and ran you and ran you like a dog. I mean, I saw guys come and go. I saw 10, 15 guys come and go that were younger and in far better shape than me, but they just didn't come back. We had two guys there. It was funny. They're from California, and they had wrestled like bar wrestling shows back in the early 80s where they just went out and slammed each other for half an hour, and people, it was great. And they went there, and one day they were late for training because they were watching cartoons. And Lou says, so where were you guys? Oh, man, we were watching, He-Man Master of the Universe or something. And Lou goes, what?
What year was this?
That was like 88. He goes, something like that they were watching. I don't know. And he goes, what's that? And he goes, it's a cartoon. He goes, it's a cartoon. And so he goes, all right, get dressed. So he comes over to Mark Fleming and this kid Brian from California, and me were there. And
I kind of liked He-Man. Did Lou not like He-Man? Was this the problem?
Lou didn't like cartoons.
He didn't like cartoons at all?
No. Yeah, I don't think so.
And I don't think I like Lou very much.
He says, I want them going today.
Just because they were late watching cartoons?
It was a consistent thing with being late and being idiots.
Sounds like they were idiots. I think if I was late for watching cartoons, I probably would have said something else.
Yeah, I could
flat tire. I had a flat tire.
I was to cut my own tire before I came in there.
You know what it was with Lou? If you were dedicated and you were there, he expected you there on time and to stay till the end.
So he just knew they were fucking dish rags.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you have you ever met? I think he's still alive. Billy Robinson.
No.
Have you?
No. I know he is.
Yeah, I mean I know his
train.
reputation. He's supposed to be some kind of. He's from that snake pit thing.
I may have ran across him once or twice. I mean, a lot of the legends would come up to WWE shows, but
I
Not
was
to
just
sit there
wondering.
and hold a conversation with him. No, I don't really consider a handshake as
No one's
No one.
you know,
Yeah.
somebody. You know,
Madam.
Well, if that's the case, I know most of the guys in the business.
yeah. If I shook his hand, maybe possibly.
Now he's got that reputation of being a legit shooter, hooker, badass.
Right.
And I've still tried to figure out what the difference is in a shooter and a hooker. I guess the hookers know how to do things that would be illegal in an amateur wrestling match.
Exactly. I mean, the hookers cripple you. The shooters just beat you.
Right.
That's the difference. Hookers were guys that, at the nod of a head could break something. I mean, fast.
Well, you remember you read
But a lot of
Flair's
those
book.
guys would only just take advantage of people they knew they couldn't. They couldn't do it back.
Well, that was the thing too. The other thing is back in those days, because the NWA was territorialized, they would move the belt from place to place to place. They would put the belt on a hooker because these other promoters would oftentimes sucker a guy in, right? They'd take advantage of him and get the belt off him in their territory. So, they
That's
put it
why
on a hooker.
That's why they. You know how titles can't change hands on a DQ. They made that rule back. If you remember it from Lou Thesz's book you read.
Because people would.
Yeah, the ref would just disqualify him and take the belt.
Yeah.
And then they had to say, "Oh no, it's got to be a pinfall or a submission." But Billy Robinson, if you remember in Flair's book, he was talking about the Iron Sheik. Now he's got to be a badass, right? If he silver medaled in the Olympics.
Oh, he's a badass.
Plus, you saw him do that stand and switch that day on the Yeti. You remember Ron Reese, the
Yes.
Yeti? He walked up in the locker room and tight-waisted Sheik from behind. And as soon as his arms went around there and touched, Sheik was behind him and had him up off his feet.
Yeah, this was in like Thomasville or Greensboro. We had an indie show. God, how tall was Ron Reese?
7 foot.
Yeah, he's close to 7. He grabbed Sheik from behind, and
That was almost like a reflex. I don't even
Yeah.
think he thought about it.
I know me and you both said,
He
I know
he
it.
just did it so
Yeah.
effortlessly, and Reese was like, "Oh, all right."
yeah, it was like a
Right,
damn
tap.
it was like a flashback.
He had
or
him up
something.
off his. I mean, I don't know if he picked him completely up, but he damn sure had the hips in.
Oh, he had a death grip on him.
If he
That's
wanted
for sure.
to dump him on his head, it wouldn't have.
And this is when he wasn't carried around not those gimmicks, but he had some other kind of
The ones he
bullshit.
made with the 25-pound weight and
Yeah.
wrapped him up in tape.
Yeah, some kind of crazy shit. You go try it, brother. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with that thing?
Well,
Yeah.
if you remember at the beginning of Flair's book, he was talking about when he was training, because Flair trained with Sheik, and he said Sheik was in there saying, I could whip Vern Gagne and Billy Robinson. And I guess one day in practice or something, Sheik jumped on Billy Robinson and was kicking his ass in amateur stuff, and then Billy Robinson put some kind of hook on him and fucked his leg up.
That's right.
And Sheik was,
Oh, like some kind of MMA shit.
yeah, he did. Flair said he did something to him to hurt his leg, and then Sheik had to give up because he was hurt.
Right.
And then Sheik was like, "Yeah, that's fucked up."
That's the difference between a
Teacher
shooter
does
and a
not-
hooker right there.
Yeah,
That's the
a
difference.
teacher shouldn't do that to his student.
Shouldn't
Yeah,
run-
so
student shouldn't run
shooters
his
were
mouth.
wrestlers and hookers just knew submissions.
Right. It's exactly a shooter today. I said, I was talking to Mike or something. I said I was doing some radio show with some MMA guy out of Virginia, and he was talking about Lou Thesz. I said, trust and believe one thing. Lou Thesz was a business guy. He made money when nobody else did in wrestling. He made money when everybody else did. He had millions of dollars. And if Lou was alive today and in his prime, he wouldn't be in pro wrestling. He'd be in MMA. There's not a question in my mind. He wouldn't be here. He'd be there making big, fat, juicy contract doing shooter stuff.
I saw an interview with Abdullah one time, and like a shoot interview thing. And Abdullah said, because Abdullah's been in the business. I don't know how old he is, but damn, he's been in the business
Close to
forever.
70, if not 70.
He's
Close.
probably in his 70s,
Yeah, he's
but he
old.
still looks like he did when he was in his 30s.
I don't know.
But he
See
said-
the one in Japan where he jumped on the second rope and bounced off, working. He was working.
Dick Murdoch.
Dick Murdoch.
Yeah, I did see that. But he said he was
Crazy.
telling the story about the first night he ever got booked with Lou Thesz, and this was when Thesz was the champion. And everybody was like teasing Abdullah because Thesz didn't like gimmick guys like him, and he said, if you can't wrestle, he's gonna come in here and fuck your ass up. And Abdullah was all like nervous about it because he's like, I can't wrestle, I can't go out there and beat him. If he wants to kick my ass, there ain't nothing I can do to stop him. And he just was telling about how Lou came over there and realized he'd heard about something business that Abdullah did somewhere, and he knew he could make money with him.
Oh, they're in Canada, I think.
Yeah, they were in Canada, and he went
Oh,
and
yeah.
found him and said, let's do this. Abdullah was like,
Yeah. Lou,
but he
Lou
said,
was like,
Lou was cool. Lou worked with him. He didn't try to give Lou
Lou
any
was
shit.
businessman. He realized he could make money with that.
Because they would always do like, I'm just from what I've read, they would do like 3 nights. These little loops they would do, and they would like the first 2 nights they were trying to build up a big house for the 3rd night. And if they did it right, then that's when they'd sell out the 3rd night, and everybody'd make a lot of money. And that's what Lou wanted because he always got a percentage of the house.
So he's a worker.
He's a worker. Working at box office.
Yeah,
like Kevin Nash.
That was when they had 15,000 at every show.
That's all I was thinking when I was reading that book. He was a worker.
Oh, you know that.
Hey, no doubt, no doubt.
He was a worker, businessman, worker.
And I just read Terry Funk's book. Have you read that one?
Oh, you asked me the exact same questions on this show.
I asked you about Oldie's book.
It looks like a repeat, except I'm in it.
Yeah, we just took Eric Royal out and put you in it.
Whatever. I'm gonna bring both of them over here.
Yeah, you're supposed to. I'm
Dave,
still waiting.
well,
you come and you borrow shit,
and
you
never
don't bring
return.
it back, and then you never even put shit in its place.
So I take and never give.
Well, speaking of champions that get dethroned, did you see the Anderson Silva fight?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw the highlights of it.
Is it a highlight, or would you watch the whole fight?
I saw the whole fight.
How many rounds did they go?
The second.
Second.
Motherfucker was clowning.
You know what? You knew eventually he was going to clown to the wrong guy because he does it every time.
Yeah.
I watched that whole fight. He was never really on top of that guy. I mean, that whole first round, that guy double-legged him and took him down.
No, Anderson's lost rounds before. He's not.
Yeah,
like
but I
he's-
mean, there was never any point in that fight where he was dominating that guy. So I was kind of wondering what he was being so cocky about.
That's just how it
That's it.
always
That's-
is, man.
yeah,
If you
that's your shtick.
If you've seen his last couple fights, they've been so fucking ridiculous. Like, why wouldn't you be cocky? I was talking about it on Twitter. I was like, it's not cocky if you actually
Yeah,
are
if you can back
one
it
of the
up.
best fucking people in the world. Then
Yeah,
you
'cause
just
I've seen fights with him.
He
He
hasn't
don't,
lost in forever, man.
he doesn't work by
In
the
10
hour
years.
either.
What's that?
He don't work by the hour either.
No, the longest one I seen him in was probably that last one with when he went almost five with damn Chael Sonnen.
Has he been knocked down recently or been in trouble?
Not really.
I never saw him get it.
What is he's not really an imposing physical specimen. Is it just straight technique?
There's a lot of crazy technique. He does shit that doesn't work for a lot of people.
Right.
I know one time he went up to 205 to fight this guy Sandman Irvin, and like caught his kick and threw a punch at the same time. It was like he went defensive and offensive at the same time. He moved up to a weight class.
You know who taught that?
Who?
Bruce Lee. That's from Tao of
No,
Jeet Kune Do.
fucking Steve Seagal taught him everything he knows. Don't you
Steven
watch it?
Seagal.
It's that Steven Seagal.
Yeah, he damn caught his foot, said bam right in that bitch's eye, and down he went. It was like a minute, 2 minutes into the first round, and he'd moved up in weight. I think he was the middleweight champion too, and just for some reason moved up into a weight class for no reason.
Bruce Lee said that's the best time to attack somebody if you can combine a block and a because they're not expecting it. They're expecting you to
Right.
counter what they're doing, and they're normally open like that.
Yeah, he's a bad motherfucker, man.
When I used to take karate, I did that to this big black guy. I was 17 years
What
old.
is it?
Again,
You're a big
it's
black
always
guy,
you and
dude.
big black guys.
Did
What
you
the-
fight with Eric Royal when he was here?
Who was he? That big black guy. The he was like in his 30s, big old muscular dude. He was a black belt.
Mike
He used
Zimmerman.
to beat the fucking dog shit out of me.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there and I'm like, he always threw this round kick or whatever, and I'm like, when he throws that kick, I know he's gonna do it. And I said, I'm gonna block it and try to kick him at the same time. I kicked him right in the damn face. You know what he did? He
Caught
said,
it.
He said that was good, man. And then you know what he did?
Punch in the mouth.
Beat the fucking dog shit out of me.
Fuck, man. I don't know. They announced a rematch in December, so it'll be fucking.
That guy's gonna give him a rematch. Do they have to do that? Is that part of the rules,
No, they don't always do a.
or is that if you just
Immediate
don't want to do
rematch.
chicken shit?
It might have been something in Anderson's contract, and I'm sure at this point in his career he could fucking
Write his own contracts.
dictate whatever happens. But yeah, I know right after it though, right after the fight, that must say he didn't want a rematch. So he didn't want to fight for the
What
title.
George Foreman say about Ali? You want a rematch, George?
Did he say that?
Yeah.
When was that?
After the damn rumble in the jungle there or whatever.
Zager, right?
They never. I mean, George said he didn't want a rematch. I didn't know why.
That's what I heard. I didn't hear it when he said it, but I
You're a
heard
fresh
them
can
talking
of
about
ass
it.
whooping open up on you. Right at that moment, you probably don't want anymore.
They
If I was
just-
him, I would have wanted a fucking rematch the next day.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
They yeah, he didn't get beat that bad. He
You
just
got
lost
big
the.
money for that
He
fight.
just lost the last.
Ali outsmarted him. I mean, you couldn't do that to him twice.
Well, that was one of the problems with Ali. Is he was brilliant. You know, he was a
The,
brilliant fighter.
On HBO, they've had this past week a documentary on Frazier and Ali 1, and that's Frazier Ali 3 behind you guys, but Frazier Ali 1, they've had that one.
What was it? Frazier beat him once, right?
Yeah, the first time.
And then Ali beat him 2 in a row.
Yeah, he beat him the second time,
And then Ken Norton beat him the first time. And then Ali went back and beat him, right? And then Ali beat Frazier and Ken Norton like they stole the damn mule, right?
I don't know if he like destroyed him. I know that Thriller Manila though. That motherfucker wasn't getting off the bench in that it was like 15th or 14th or something.
Yeah. enough.
He's like, fuck it.
Well, his deal back then was he was just bigger and stronger than everybody else, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a lot of things. A lot of people, I mean, if you go back and watch that tape, Ali was a big motherfucker, and you hear all this speed and all this. Yeah, at the same time, he was just a big son of a bitch too.
Yeah, but Ali was what, 218 or something like that, and Foreman was 250, wasn't he?
No wasted space.
Yeah, I don't know if he was 218. I think he's bigger than that.
Yeah,
You might be talking about like
He's low 220s.
Floyd Patterson, and some of those guys were small as shit.
Right.
He destroyed them fuckers guys. Like the ones that were smaller than him, he murdered.
Well, it's like Holyfield. I mean, he was never a power guy. He'd light your ass up though.
Yeah, everybody fought their best fucking fight against Holyfield too. Everybody was terrified against Tyson.
Yep.
But then they thought they could beat Holyfield,
Buster Douglas came along.
so they would train like a motherfucker, and they.
What did Ray Mercer do when he fought Holyfield?
Ray Mercer, I don't remember.
Took a fucking knee.
Oh yeah, Holyfield started beating his ass. It's like, God damn.
Say?
I need a powder.
And they jabbed Bobby Chest 87 times in the eye.
Oh yeah.
In one
Just
round.
said something's in my damn eyes, and we were like, yeah, that's that motherfucker's gloves.
That
And
shit's
then
ridiculous.
remember when Lennox Lewis? Now talk about a power guy. See, Lennox Lewis reminded me of George Foreman when he was younger. I mean, they were kind of built the same, and he had that big right hand. Did you ever watch? Because Lewis would set that up. He'd have that big right hand, and then he'd hit
Get it
motherfuckers
cocked
with
and
it.
be waiting, man.
Yeah, did you see when he hit
Unload
Ray
it.
Mercer with it?
He fucking hit Ray Mercer. And like normally, and it was the good one too. It wasn't,
he landed it
he
now.
landed, and he like that's it, boom, and fucking Ray Mercer goes, start coming right back, and you can see Lewis go, what the fuck?
Oh,
Yeah,
And he started like high stepping, trying to get the fuck out of there.
I thought he was gonna climb over the top rope.
I know. You unload your best punch on a guy, snacked everybody else out.
No,
This
he
guy
took
shakes it off. You're like,
Mercer
What
took
the
a
world?
step back, and he said,
All right, here we go. Oh, God damn,
"What about Mercer and Tommy Morrison?"
he murdered that motherfucker.
And then knocked him out and kept right on murdering him. Man, that
What was
referee-
that referee was like fucking eating a damn snack or something.
something.
Like,
He's
that
lucky he
shit was
didn't
fun.
kill his ass. Damn. You remember that one when he fell and hooked his arms on the top rope and he was out and Ray Mercer said,
let me get a couple more shots in on you.
who was that was hitting that guy in the corner and looking at the referee and going,
Oh, that was
Oliver McCall and Lennox Lewis?
no. Well, that one was really bad. That's the one where Oliver McCall started crying
I don't blame
and
him.
was turning his back. Now you talking about Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Norris?
He had the guy in the corner and he was just, the guy was
Yeah,
fucking
he was
out.
he was beating. Well, this wasn't Sugar Ray wasn't out, but if I'm thinking about the same one, we might be talking about two different fights. But I remember one of Sugar. It might have been Sugar Ray's
Yeah,
last
because
fight.
it was when he was.
Yeah, he
shooting
was-
that
he was
business out
already
there in the
done.
first place.
This
Was it,
Michael Norris, Tommy Norris. I want to think it was a fucking Norris. Anyway, I know he was beating the fuck out of him. He just turned to the referee like, "The
You want me to
fuck are
hit
you
him some
doing?"
more?
Yeah, I'll kill the guy if you want me to.
damn. Where's Boom Boom Mancini when you need him?
Fighting Bobby Chacon. Hurry on home.
So yeah. Anyway, I think
You heard that song, Warren Zevon?
what's that?
Boom, you ever heard that song by Warren Zevon? Boom Boom Mancini's fighting Bobby Chacon. Hurry on up, hurry on home.
I didn't understand 7 words you just said.
That was. Are you speaking in like
I'm
big laugh?
speaking in Yankee.
Is that the
Let me,
guy?
let me let me slow it down for you little fellers here.
Was that the guy? The guy he killed was
Warren Zevon, Werewolves in London, the singer.
Oh,
Got
Werewolves in London.
You're right.
Hmm.
He wrote a song called Boom Boom Mancini, and it's Boom Boom Mancini's fighting Bobby Chacon. Hurry on up, hurry on home. I have it on my phone. I've played it for you guys.
Never heard.
I'm-
of it.
It's all about.
That's not the guy he
I'm
It's all
killed.
good.
about Boom Boom Mancini.
I'm good. I don't
That's
need
not
it.
the guy he killed.
No, he killed Duck Kim Koo.
Yeah, the guy was a Korean.
Right. A Korean is a 2-syllable word for Mike. A Korean.
That's how we say it down here.
That's how they say it
I've
in
lived in
Florida.
the South for 25 of the last 30 years.
Did you
I'm
see
well
that?
aware.
Where that news reporter went on TV and somebody ribbed the teleprompter or something and put those names in there for those Chinese pilots?
Yeah.
Where?
I got it on my phone. It's awesome.
Some
This
news
recent?
reporter in San Francisco, I guess somebody was playing a joke and they said put the names of the pilots down.
Oh, for that plane crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was
One was We Too Low.
We Too Low and Holy Fuck and
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
Some Ting Wong and it was like
Something wrong. Yeah.
and she was like reading them all serious and then the
And then
TV
she
station
says-
had to issue an apology.
Then she says, these pilots were confirmed by the NTSB. No, they weren't. No, they
They were
weren't.
confirmed by that
Joke.
fucking jackass.
And then they're like,
wrote
we had
it.
a temp on that day, and somebody called it in. Why would you let a temp take a call about a plane crash with the pilots from allegedly the NTSB?
So somebody called in there with that rib and nobody caught it until
Nobody
it went on the air.
called it. One in here, and that chick was
Was one of that? One that it was
deadpan
We Too Low.
serious.
The first one was Sum Ting Wong, and
Yeah.
then We Too Low,
We-
and Holy Fuck,
Holy Fook.
and yeah, she pronounced it Fook. It was like
Holy
F-U-K.
Fook.
And then the last one was Bing Dang Boom or some
Yeah,
shit like
bing,
that.
dang, boom. And she read them all. And then she says, and these were confirmed recently, or in the last few minutes by the National Transportation Safety Board. Like, oh, they weren't there.
Now, while she was reading, was there any? Did she have any idea?
No,
Apparently
she was.
not.
You know how they are. They're pretty faces that read a teleprompter.
Right.
She just deadpan it off the teleprompter. Let me do my serious voice here.
I think though, if I read something that says something wrong and We Too Low, that something would go off in my head,
you
like
know,
a fucking aneurysm at least.
Yeah, but then what? What if that was their real names? What, are you guys fucking kidding me here? Come on, is it? Oh,
Oh, there's the room.
they're real names.
sorry.
They're Asians.
Sum Ting Wong, shit.
Huh.
What's your name? Chew. God bless you.
That's right.
Shit.
What else we got?
I don't fucking know, man. So anyway, you guys, we're gonna talk about Monday Night Raw. You guys hate the Wyatts, or do you love them again?
No, I didn't see it this week. I never hated the Wyatts to begin with.
Yeah, fucking, you're supposed to watch it. That's the
That's
whole
the
purpose.
homework.
Dude, I
How was
worked
your
last
homework?
night at midnight. I was sleeping when it was on. I recorded
Yeah,
it. The
midnight
homework
hour.
was I was going to fast forward it, but I was really tired, and I took a fucking Somonex.
So you saw
I
it.
slept to
I watched
1:30.
the whole show.
Now y'all both the most negative motherfuckers ever.
That show was better than.
Well, no, you're most negative.
I'm most
Yeah,
negative.
yeah, no, yeah,
I'm almost
you
negative.
kind of right.
I'm
He's the
rubbing off
most.
on him.
He's the
Look,
most
all I
negative of all
said,
fucking time.
all I said about that Wyatt angle was, why did they attack Kane?
No. We will dig this
I said it was
motherfucker
an
up.
epic fail.
That was
Epic
his
fucking
words.
fail.
That was
You
his
know
That he
words.
got from you.
But you know
I
why?
just-
You know why I say that? Listen, I'll tell you why I say it.
What did Mike tell you about it? That made you? Because you said Mike told me to watch this something. He
Well,
just,
then I watched it.
yeah, but how did he describe it to you?
He said that basically that WWE sucked and Vince didn't know what he was doing and
course.
blah blah blah. Nah, I don't know. I can't tell you exactly what he said because I don't sleep much anymore. But here was my thing: is when I watch a wrestling match, and listen, I've told you before, I'm a dinosaur. I'm stuck in the past. And when I watch a wrestling match and I see the finish, I replay everything in my head, and I have to know why. Okay. When I watched vignettes, I was sold. I saw the vignettes on
The vignettes were great.
on USA. They were great. I never watched WWE, and I watched it live because I was actually excited about this character. It reminded me of De Niro from Cape Fear, which is one of my favorite like freak movies, and Wail and Mercy or whatever his name was
Right.
again. But replayed by what's interesting. And then I found out who the guys were that were playing it, and Mike Rotunda and I are from like 30 miles apart. And I said, you know what, I gotta watch it. And I watched it, and I was sold on the whole thing. And then they jumped Kane, and to me that's like, okay, that's the cherry on the sundae. That's the end of the movie. This is where everything comes together. And I realize it isn't over and they have next week. But to me, it has to make sense when it ends that night. And I see him attack Kane. I'm like, wow, this thing had so much promise. And then they end it with this without giving any particular reason. And as much effort and money and time as they put into that, to me, they could have tweaked it. There could have been a reason. They could have showed some tiny little bit of a reason why they went after Kane, because it just didn't make sense to me. So when I watch, I'm like, it's like having sex without the nut. You know what I mean? Like, that's great. All right, we're done. Well, it's kind of anticlimactic. To me, it's the same thing. And I know what you said. You said you got to give it time and it's got to play out. I understand that. But I needed to see why.
I don't think you do understand that because
I
that
do
goes
understand.
against what you're saying.
I-
You can't start the story and end it in
I'm
one
not
segment.
asking-
No,
I'm asking
here's
that.
what I think.
I'm asking to make sense of everything they've shown to that point when that goes off the
It's
air.
a wrestling show.
To
They came
bring-
out and attacked somebody, which happens all the time. Why did this particular
I
time
think
bother you?
it's not this particular time with me. I think
Right.
the past 10 years, they go for that shock value in everything. I mean, you can't. Nobody. This isn't just wrestling. This is television shows too. Just entertainment. And we could probably get into a long discussion about why that is. I mean, in a nutshell, 30 years ago, when you turned wrestling on the television, there was basically two other choices to watch at that time.
Right.
Because there was only 3 channels. Now there's 800, and not counting
Listen,
all
don't
the
be
shit.
stealing my shit that I've been saying.
Yeah, but I mean, you say it, but yeah, you said it, but it's a fact. I mean, there's just a lot more choices. So everybody's that's producing any kind of entertainment is just the products and the entertainment is getting cheaper and it's going for cheap pops and cheap heat. And it's just when I was, when you build, they did a good
Actually, I
job
think if
building.
they would have explained the whole thing, that would have been cheap because then it was done. But because we just got the first step, now we got somewhere to go.
Well, maybe I jumped to a. We'll see how it turns out. But it just seems like whenever they debut somebody new, they always got to come out there and just jump on somebody and beat the dog shit out of them, without. Whereas before, back in the days, you would bring the guys in, there would be a promo, and then they would create some kind of friction between them and another person that would end up with them beating their ass.
Yeah, I think what he did all this promo stuff, which are really cool, and psychological characters are a lot harder to get over and explain than just physical guys. Big physical.
I'll give you that.
Batista can walk out there and go, oh, he's a fucking he's a muscle guy. He's gonna beat the shit out of somebody. These guys are psychological.
Yeah, that's a deep gimmick.
Yeah, and it's going to take a while to get over.
Getting people's heads.
And Kane actually would fit in their gimmick somehow, and I'm wondering, is that why they attacked him first?
I mean, that's a way you could go with it.
See, I felt.
Do you think they know at this point where they're going with it, or do you think they just?
I think they're trying to do a lot more long-term planning now, and and that's definitely the stuff that I've heard, and it kind of does seem to be like they're not doing as much throw shit against the wall and see what sticks type of thing. And that the show does seem to be a little bit more structured. That one, not the one. There's one like 2 weeks ago that was just kind of out of place. Like I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Didn't their head writer walk out or get fired abruptly or something?
It was the one where they had the Cena versus Alberto Del Rio main event, and they did something real cool where they kept like highlighting the past WWE champions and past NWA champions, and that was real fucking cool. But the rest of the show was just a fucking disaster.
One thing that's got to be hard is they got a lot of airtime to fill up every week.
Fuck yeah, they do.
I mean, how do you keep coming up with new ideas for that shit?
But I know this past Monday, Wyatt's came out. Reaction is still fucking great. That damn lantern, which if it was green, it'd be heat. It'd be lantern.
I like the way they blow it out too, and it's a damn halogen light. Not to split hairs.
And not everybody's getting that though.
And then they come down, and that's real cool. And then they beat the shit out of
R-Truth.
R-Truth. So he should have just stood his ground.
See, I wasn't gonna touch that one.
I didn't see it, so I can't. Sadly, I will tonight.
But, I think too the biggest disconnect with that, while that segment, the first one was flatter than it could have been, was just that damn evaluation that they did of Vicky Guerrero. That took the crowd, because that crowd was hot as fuck
Why do they keep doing stupid shit like that?
Who followed that?
Christian and Kane.
I felt bad for him, man.
They might have did one little thing backstage or something, but then it went to Christian and Kane, which normally the crowd would be with them, but it's just like after watching.
The machine gun the crowd.
Do you think Hunter, and I know Vince has had a tendency sometimes to go in a different direction with something that's a little screwy. Do you think Hunter sits there and really thinks that's good shit?
I don't even know if he's the one that wrote it. He might have just
went along with it.
Yeah.
And he's probably in a position where he could have said, hey, this is
So,
stupid.
they must have liked it, but I think it was just too long. They could have went out, it just drug out. Like, they could have went out there and did that. When you got just...
condense it. And I think they're filling time, so they drug it. But the problem with that is
it made Kane and Christian the popcorn match, was what happened. Because there was such a break. Yeah, there's such a break in the action. It was like intermission at a fucking boxing fight, at MMA, or at a wrestling fight.
Vicky Guerrero is so talented, too. Well, I mean, why, just using her in stupid comedy shit. Like, you could get something, do more with her where she gets real heat.
Well, they do. They do.
Yeah, they do, but then you put them out there and try to make them funny and... it's okay to make her be the butt of a joke and stuff like that, but just I don't know, some of the stuff they just...
I think, like you said earlier, because they do it every week, and it's non-stop. It ain't like they, on one season of Dexter, she can be a little hard, and on the next season, she could be a little goofy. There's no break. So she can be hard, but if she's hard 20 weeks in a row, then we got the exact same Vicky 20 weeks in a row, and they got to change it up.
And then she won't be hard.
Who's that guy in the white? I thought that damn Husky Harris hit that damn promo out of the park.
Which one's Husky?
He's Bray Wyatt.
The leader?
Yeah. I thought his promo was awesome.
Yeah.
Did you catch the Galactus reference?
The Eater of Worlds.
I saw it and I said,
I saw
anybody?
a little bit of that.
Yeah. He's good, man.
Where'd Thanos go?
Thanos is right here.
I'll tell you what, it takes, you usually got to turn chicken shit into chicken salad. And their promos the previous week on USA, I was watching NCIS Marathon, and every break was one of those. And, after a while, you can only get up and get so many beers and so many things to eat, and you end up watching them. I'm like,
the
physicality on Kane too wasn't that impressive, but that's fucking.
Did he get hurt for real? Is that a shoot?
But it's like either way, just going in there and attacking him. It's hard to do a lot of impressive shit to Kane, but then again, maybe that's what made me not like it. That's what made me like it, because I came out not cheering for them. And that's the hard part these days. Like, the segment to me, you came out not liking them, but you also wanted to see what happened next week. But then it worked out absolutely fucking perfect, because how many times has there been a heel that you actually disliked, but yet you still want to see him?
Right.
Nowadays, every heel that comes out there's a heel,
Right.
but you're still impressive as shit.
Right.
Now we got some people that we really don't like, yet we still kind of want to see where they're going.
Who was the only heel in the Four Horsemen?
Fucking Tully.
What was Arn?
Before that, Ole.
Arn,
Arn was a tweener. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tweener heading to a babyface.
Went out there and said he was a heel, but tried to get everybody to pop for him.
Arn turned me into it. I remember distinctly being at the Dorton Arena, him and Tully working Ricky and Robert, and I was a huge Rock and Roll Express fan. And they did some kind of spot, whatever, tackle drop down out of the heat, duck the clothesline, and here's that spine buster out of the blue, and that whole place come unglued. And I remember, like, that was cool as shit. And it shouldn't have been.
Right. Right. Right.
Either
gotta
shouldn't
get
have
a
been,
pop
or you
on
turn
the
him
heel move,
babyface
right.
after that.
Well, too, I mean, it was what Arn would do is what I try to do as Gregory Helms. At least if I got pops as a heel, I would want my babyface to outdo me.
Right.
Nowadays, heels will get their pops, and their babyface can't outdo them. They end up
Right.
outshining.
Right.
That's why Shawn, and it's got nothing to do with how I feel about Shawn as a person, but as when he was a heel, he would outshine his babyface every
Absolutely.
fucking time.
I
It was an
agree.
awful heel.
Yeah,
He's a
isn't
great
it?
babyface, one of the
Right.
best babyfaces of all
It's
time.
a bad heel. They don't
But as a heel, it's terrible.
Right. You gotta get it.
Some guys can't get that thing in their head that is, if you're a heel, you're not supposed to get yourself over. You're supposed to get them over.
Right.
Especially on the indies now, because that's the flavor.
I think everybody knows what a technician I actually am, but you never see it because I'm always a heel.
Because you don't want to impress them. I got
I
it.
don't want to impress them.
Gotcha.
You know.
And you don't.
Well, I was working. I'm not trying to. I forget how I was working, and I did a spot. This is recently. It was a smaller guy. Did a spot. Doc caught him, turned into Michinoku, and I heard the crowd go, "Oh!" And I'm like, "Shit! I shouldn't have fucking done that."
Using my Michinoku.
But you know.
No, Doc caught him with the cross body, and it turned into it, and the crowd popped. I'm like, "Whoops!"
I think you can do that, but they have to outdo it. Like when I was
Right.
the Gregory Helms heel in WWE, when I would work Nunzio, I wouldn't do nothing because he was a basic kind of submission here and there, ground type guy.
He's some kind of shooter too, isn't he?
Yeah. But he didn't do anything really fucking flashy, so I didn't either. But if I did Jimmy Yang, okay, now I can come off the top. Now I can do some high spots because
Right.
I know Jimmy Yang's going to outdo me.
Right. I agree with that.
We had a match one night with
Who?
me and Murray with Kai and Ty. And Taka, you know how small Taka is.
Uh-huh.
He put Murray in that fucking Michinoku driver, and that shit was great. I was over there popping on the damn apron
He
for
just
it.
yanked him up and did it.
I don't know, I guess.
I worked the
But
guy.
he fucking Murray is a good bumper now.
Yeah.
And when Taka put him up in that fucking shit, Murray was straight up in the air and went straight down on his head.
Was that the finish? I hope.
Let's hope so.
Shit, it
Better,
might have been. I
man.
can't remember.
You're gonna have
But
to
damn.
down. Somebody Murray's
We
side.
did a match. I forget. It was me and Rosie against two guys, and the one guy was Slick Wagner Brown.
Slick Wagner
You know
Brown.
that?
I've seen him.
It was something where we finally give these guys a chance to get some heat. He just yanks me up, and I think it's just gonna be a body slam. And he damn Michinoku drivers me right on my shit. And we get to the back, and I was like, "Damn, buddy, I'm like,
You
I'm
know
trying to
about
let
the
you
neck
get
here?
a little shine in here, but try not to fuck me up."
All right.
I might want to tell somebody. If he
I
did
used
yank
to-
my ass up, and dang, and every time I see him now, I'm like,
I used to like doing that move because I thought it was like, you remember when I did it to.
you used to kill people with it, though. It's
Well, that's
fucking
why
different.
I liked it. But I couldn't do it to anybody that weighed over about 220 without really fucking them up.
Taka gave it to Cicero, and Cicero was all jacked though.
Well, I mean, I could.
Who did?
Taka gave it the
Oh,
Michinoku driver to Cicero.
I could do
Cicero
it.
was all jacked up.
I could do it on
Top
bigger
right on his
guys,
shoulder.
but I kind of had to drop them on their back a little bit, and it just didn't look as devastating. 'Cause
He
the little
did one.
guys, I could hold their shoulder right here in where my elbow is,
Uh,
and I would go down with
Called
them,
the
and
crux.
I would throw them back, like use my arm to kind of launch them back.
when
up
we
in the air.
first won the Omega Tag Team titles, the night we won them, he did that damn, whatever the guy's name is. They were two
Fuma, Hydro.
ninja gimmicks. He's running, and Mike catches this guy off the run and jumps up in the air. This motherfucker jumps up in there with the guy, and damn Michinoku spikes him right on his fucking. I didn't even see that.
There's pictures of it online, and it's like from the back, and you can see my ass with his head sticking.
And like if you watch, you like, God damn, and I didn't see it,
Who
right?
were those guys?
I don't too
There were two Omega guys.
Yeah.
And then we end up doing
two brothers.
we just went over strong. It wasn't a heel type thing, but you know,
They
we
didn't
were
like
young
us.
about it.
That was probably the beginning of that reputation we got.
No, that reputation was well
Well,
installed at that point.
That didn't do it any good. But they were like the only real tag team that Omega had, because Matt and Jeff were the tag team.
We were on the first Omega shows too.
Right.
But before Omega,
they
it
were
was
part
called
of New Frontier.
Yeah, it's called New Frontier Wrestling Championship or Wrestling Alliance or some bullshit. And they were there before we were.
They kind of thought that we slipped into cut them in line or whatever for a spot they thought they had.
Oh well.
Yeah,
they tried to do this move. Were they supposed to beat us in that match?
No.
I don't remember, but they wanted to do this big move. They did this Mortal Kombat ninja twin type gimmick. So I'm laying there like this.
Look, you go, sure they did.
And you
Why
were
wouldn't
you were gone. You were outside or whatever.
Back then, wasn't it?
So what they were going to do was, one of them was going to do this number, and the other one was going to put his foot in there, and then he was going to backflip him on top of me. So I'm laying right there, and he does this shit and goes, and they threw the guy, and he went over there somewhere and landed on his own head.
Well, there was one where the guy was, you were laying there, and the guy came from behind, and he was going to act like he was going to like leapfrog up on the guy's shoulders, and then he was going to turn around, and so like you're playing fucking chicken, you know what I'm saying? So Mike's behind him, and he's going to like moonsault the guy off the back. That was what their idea. But when the dude jumped up on the shoulders, he just fucking face planted his own partner. And Mike's just on the ground, and he just goes.
Is that when I got up and hooked him by the neck?
I don't know what the fuck he did.
We're gonna give you the reverse rocket launcher.
Marty's Marty's over there doing like play-by-play commentary over the house mic.
Champagne.
With
First name Sam.
with Ted Hobgood. And right when they did it, Marty went, "Nice."
Yeah, so his commentary is over the house speaker, so all the people can hear everything he's saying. So not only did these guys just fuck up, the announcer put over the fuck up, and Marty just goes, "Nice!" And over there going, "What?" And even before that, to start the match, they would put Everclear in their mouth in little balloons, and fucking blow fire. Or no, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
no, they would just have it in their mouth. It wasn't in a balloon. They would
just drink it.
They would just have it and blow the fucking fire. And the dude went in there, and when he sucked in a deep breath to blow it, it went down his fucking throat.
You catch his throat on fire?
No, he didn't. He didn't even get the fucking thing lit. He's over there choking
to death.
on the damn alcohol.
Right. Only takes a couple shots of that to be drunk.
I'm sitting there going, what the fuck is going on?
So we had a match with them. We've told the story before. I don't know if you've heard it, but we were supposed to wrestle them at the Carthage, the Lee County Fair,
Moore County Fair.
And we're sitting there, and we show up that night, and the ring's outside.
Is this the rematch?
Yeah, the ring's outside. And, Matt's booking, he says, you guys with the natural disasters, or whatever the hell their name was. So we're like, all right, we talked a little bit, had our shit together. Me and Shane are dressed. We're over there warming up, doing our little squats and stretching our rubber bands. And Shane goes, "Where's Hydro and Fuma at?" And I said, "Their bags are right." And I look over there and their bags are gone.
Motherfuckers are gone.
They didn't want no more of that.
But too, even before that though, we were kind of dicks to them one time. Not to them specifically, but to the situation.
You two guys, come on.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
Well, this was me just trying to be entertaining though, because we got stuck in this match. It was them, and it was these two other guys, and we stuck in this three-way tag match. And when they would come to tag over, I would just fucking jump to the floor. And then once I started doing it, of course, Mike said, "I ain't getting," that motherfucker. He loves the apron. Mike loves the apron more than life. And then one time, and we did that in one match, and then we had another three-way with him again, where I went to the concession stand and bought a fucking drink, and came to the back and came back to the corner. But we were kind of tweener heels anyway.
Right.
But we didn't have a choice.
We were eating hot dogs, sitting down there at the side of the ring. They'd come over to tag.
And we wouldn't tell them we was going to do the shit. We just fucking was doing our own thing.
Oh, that's great.
It was one of those rings, too, where the ring was about that high on the floor.
The worst.
You could just take a step up there.
Planet, man. Try to take a back bump over that top, bro.
Oh, yeah. Every time you hit the ropes, the ring's doing this.
Oh, yeah. They're terrible.
It was at some flea market or something, too, wasn't it?
Imagine that. But what about your boy Daniel Bryan? Hottest thing in the biz right now.
Yeah, that what they did with him
Are you
last
finally
night.
just coming
Yeah,
around?
that worked, what they did with him last night. I said it worked. What?
It's all up here. One day you just started fucking stop arguing with me and just agree with me when I said, I think something's going to pop here. I think something's going on.
They kind of took a risk on that, involving the people like that, though, because if they hadn't have gone with it, they must have felt confident that was going to work.
Dude, that fucking crowd goes ape shit every time he comes out.
Did you notice the way they kind of shit on the whole rest of the roster in the process of?
That probably wasn't necessary.
What about Sheamus?
Not so much.
What about they shit on Ryback? What
There's
about
I
Ryback?
don't know.
Well, it's fine that they did shit on him though. He's a heel.
Is Sheamus still a face?
Yeah.
I think it's the worst move ever, man.
Well, it helped him out, and it'll help when he goes to be a heel again.
Right.
It showed a little bit different side of him. He's got, You got the
Why
chance.
does the
That's no
WWE want to take all their big guys and make clowns out of them?
Like the same thing I said with Vicky, because they're doing them 2 shows a week, every fucking week. If there's a pay-per-view, now they're on 3 times a week. You can't have that exact same shit on all year long. You got
And
to
there's
show
just not
something.
enough. There's not
Mark
enough.
Henry had his time as a clown. Now he's over as a hard ass heel. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
So there's
they
just
gotta
not enough
move
talent
around.
to rotate. I mean, they got to stick with the same guys for years. They can't.
We got so much writing.
Well, it's not like he's been there for a decade.
Like Mark Henry was.
Who are we talking about again?
Sheamus.
I know, but you got to remember, guys. Their run would be if you stayed in one company a year. That was a long time
Back in the day.
back in the day. Now guys, get hired and they work there for 10 or 12 or 20 years,
I tell you, when I was
and
up
they
there,
got to keep repackaging them and trying to.
when I was up there last December, Sheamus came deadpan straight up to me.
I said, "Who the fuck are you?"
No, he was a friend of mine on Facebook. He was, I read
Oh,
your shit
yeah?
every day. Of course, then he disappeared after I left. I don't know what happened.
And CueBall was thrown out of the building shortly afterwards.
I didn't get thrown out. Lou did. I fucking decided to fucking scream, bitch, and piss and on my way out the door. Yeah.
So are we going to talk about the George Zimmerman trial?
God damn, do we have to?
I can't because I didn't watch any of it. I don't know nothing about it. I just know the verdict and who the DOJ's involved in.
You don't have a Facebook law degree?
Well, of course I do.
Everybody's got a law degree on
I
fucking
printed it
Facebook.
up myself.
I don't want to talk about it too much, but you can throw an opinion out. You apparently are ready. Are you geared up?
I don't really know how I feel about it. I was going to ask you how you
Oh,
felt.
listen,
I
it's like,
think
are we
I've
going to
got-
talk about it? I don't know how I feel
No,
about
I've
it.
kind of
Yeah, you do.
I've kind of flip flopped back and forth on this thing a couple of times, but I'll say this: it's one of those things where when you just look at what the media first throws out there, the story, it looks a certain way, and then you start to hear more of the details.
they definitely try to manipulate it.
Yeah, that's my problem with the whole thing. When it became a media frenzy, I bowed out because they'll spin it every which way. You never know what really is going on, and I'm like, I'm not participating in it.
I'll say this: I mean, when I heard that verdict, I was kind of sitting there going, I mean, that's not what I was expecting. I was fully expecting that jury to come back and I said they're not going to. When I heard they put manslaughter out there for them to charge him with, I said they'll charge him with manslaughter because he slaughtered a man. Manslaughter.
At the end of the day, somebody's dead there.
Yeah.
I heard these lawyers, not lawyers that were involved in the case, but like Dan Abrams and these other people that get on there and
The NBC,
legal experts for the TV
legal
stand.
experts.
But I understand the law and exactly what he did and why they say he shouldn't have been convicted, but it's still fucked up.
Yeah, legally, I put on my Facebook. I said legally he got away. Morally, he created the situation.
Right.
And my personal opinion is it stems from the fact he had a gun and he had that false tough guy attitude that motherfuckers carry guns get. Not all of them, but damn sure a lot of them, because there's a lot of motherfuckers in jail right now because they were a tough motherfucker that had a gun
Yeah,
or thought they were tough. Obviously, I didn't like that they kept calling the kid a child. He's less than a year away from being eligible for the military.
Right.
That's not a child. And he was whooping a grown man's ass. Obviously, he's not a child.
First he whipped it slow.
And then he whipped it
I
fast.
pistol whipped his ass. I wouldn't have shot him.
I don't
pulled
think
out.
I don't think that was an option.
I think he was getting, fucking Zimmerman created this situation,
Right.
started getting his ass whooped, and he killed the guy. I was just telling Mike, I had just read, I wasn't telling him just now, but earlier I was reading a story when he came up. There was a guy locally that somebody in his house he accidentally shot. Now he's going to jail for like negligence or involuntary something. Now he accidentally, without any intent, didn't try to create a situation. His ass is going to jail.
Right.
But this other guy, of the 2 cases, I would say the accidental. If somebody had to be free, I would say the accidental guy should be free,
Absolutely.
as opposed to George Zimmerman, who created this shit.
Life's about choices. He made a choice to carry a gun. He made a choice to follow this kid, and the end result of that choice is somebody died, and he had to pay for those.
I would
choices.
if he had actually witnessed Trayvon Martin doing something illegal, if he saw him trying to break into a house or a car or anything, I think that would have made a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he literally did nothing. I don't care if he smoked weed 2 weeks ago or earlier that day. That had nothing to do with what he was doing right that minute. He was walking down the fucking street. He'd been to the store, and he was going home.
And isn't the fight or flight instinct, isn't that like a scientific thing that's what we have?
Absolutely.
So if Trayvon got to that point that it was run or fucking fight this motherfucker, then that's just natural.
Right.
He chose
Right.
fight.
Absolutely.
And I don't know how. I mean, when I was 17 years old or 18, I mean, I don't know what I'd do now. I mean, neither one's an option because I can't fight or run. So I'd probably just have to stand there and say, "Hey."
Yeah, man, dude, I was 17. I would have swung on
I
that
would've beat that
motherfucker
motherfucker
damn
in
hiccup
a
and got
heartbeat.
fucking shot.
Probably.
And two, I will say this though, just for anybody listening, only bad guys wear hoodies. Y'all know good guys that wear hoodies. Every time I've seen an artist sketch of somebody that robbed a bank
the
or an
Unabomber.
ATM or a fucking convenience store, almost every time there's an artist sketch or there's video footage, motherfuckers got a hoodie.
And
I just
sunglasses.
saw
Sunglass.
Colonel Mines the other night
Doc-
where they drew a guy in a hoodie with sunglasses.
Motherfuckers got a hoodie. Dr.
Unabomber
Doom,
had it. Unabomber had it.
Unabomber hoodie. Dr. Doom, the Emperor from fucking Star Wars had a hoodie. The KKK got full face hoodies. Everybody wear hoodies. When I'm in an airport and I want to be antisocial because I'm fucking exhausted and I don't want people fucking with me, I pull my hoodie on.
That's right.
It doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad guy. But like Dave Chappelle says, if I see a motherfucker in a police uniform,
It's kind of like a ski
I'm
mask.
going to assume he's a cop.
It's kind of like a ski mask. I wouldn't walk into a bank wearing a ski mask
Yeah, I mean, the way that hoodie is designed to conceal your face and your head.
or a pair of pantyhose over my
Unless
head.
it's cold as fuck, which I don't think in Florida it really gets too terribly cold, but maybe it does. But I know that there's a history, I was reading too, there's a history of that Sanford that has a lot of real big, impactful, like racial shit going on. How did the white people get involved? I thought this guy was Latino or Hispanic or
I don't
something.
know. That's my question the whole time. Zimmerman's a fucking
See,
Mexican.
I assumed that white
I thought
media
it
was
Jewish
promoting.
name. I thought he was Jewish. Zimmerman.
I thought
I
white
think
people.
he's a Mexican
I thought
Jew.
the white people was
Motherfucker's
promoting
Juan
it
Epstein.
because it was a Mexican against a black guy. That's what I thought.
The,
Finally they were absolved.
the part about profiling him, I thought that was a little misleading because Trayvon did match the description of people that had committed crimes in that neighborhood.
He's black.
I mean, that ain't his. I mean, if a fucking black guy in a hoodie broke into a house, then you match the description. I mean, it's not like Zimmerman just saw him walking down the street and for no reason said,
It's like I say, whenever I put on that shit, I know I look unapproachable.
Right.
That's why I do it. Whenever I put my glasses and my hoodie on, I'm trying to be unapproachable.
sometimes
So
when I go
if
out
you
in
dress
public-
like that, I mean, there's got to be I don't know if there should be an assumption of risk, but you might want to keep, especially if you're in fucking Florida right now. I would have that assumption of risk in my damn head.
See that unapproachable, like that's natural too. Like when you see a blowfish and the needles are sticking out, or you see a dog and he's got all his teeth showing,
Right.
and you've seen that stuff Murray wears, that thing on his head.
Yeah.
That's nature's way of saying don't go near this guy.
Right.
See,
Black and white.
and the only reason Zimmerman went to him was because he had a fucking gun. He didn't have a gun.
That's right.
His goofy ass would have stayed in the car. His goofy ass probably wouldn't even have followed him to begin with.
People that buy guns and stuff like that, not all of them, but a lot of them. I went to school with a guy that was a black belt in karate, and ironically enough, he was about that fucking tall.
Hmm.
And you know why he spent all those years studying and training and taking karate?
I guess he wouldn't have to shoot anybody.
He wanted to kick somebody's fucking ass.
By his ass.
Just waiting.
Yeah, he was, and we
Just
would every
laying
time
in wait.
he was a fucking black belt and had never been in a
Laying in
street
wait.
fight.
Wait.
And every time we'd go out, that motherfucker was trying to start a fight with somebody.
Really, a lot of martial artists are very disciplined.
No, he
and
wanted to
don't go
fight.
looking for it.
He wanted to
He
see if
probably
that shit would
Napoleon
actually
syndrome.
work. Well, he did. He was a fucking midget. But he, it's like these guys.
Little
that buy
known
these-
fact: midgets actually don't have Napoleon's complex.
It's like these guys. Some of these guys that buy these guns want to fucking shoot somebody.
Mhm.
They want to have.
Sure
They
they
go
do.
study the law. They don't want to go out and just commit murder. They want to have a legal, justified excuse to shoot somebody.
I know,
They're
on-
waiting.
On my little
So-
Facebook gimmick, there was somebody that was like, "Oh, why is it always got to be about guns?" I'm like, dude, at some point, it's the number one choice of weapon in murders in the entire fucking world is a gun. At some point, we got to go, hey, you know what? There's a lot of fucking guns over here. We got a lot of people that get murdered. I wonder why. And everybody-
If you could
Convenience.
get back the
If
illegal ones,
if they
you
could
could
get
do
nuclear bombs, that'd be the
Yeah.
number one.
I hate
cause.
that shit.
Right.
Guns don't kill people. Yes, the fuck they do. All the time.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
technically,
Well, you
the
know-
bullets kill the people.
You know what it is? Is the whole thing with guns is if you could get all the illegal ones back, then you could control those. But without that,
But the thing is, they're still making them
Oh, I
out.
know.
I don't
The
understand
gun
how.
All one the other
production,
day.
the gun production is outseeding population growth.
I don't understand.
There's more
how-
guns than people. Why the
Why,
fuck
why
would
is
you?
it so?
I've always had
Why is
2
it
or
so
4
difficult to control? I mean, every gun that's made has a serial number.
Because there's some kind of bullshit going on with
Yeah,
all
there
these
is.
guns mysteriously disappear and they mysteriously get stole from. It's not like you make a meth lab and somebody's back there fucking making guns.
no.
That shit has to be done in factories and
And they-
controlled environments.
At some point, somebody
Unless it's
bought
the
it
3D
legally.
printer gun, whatever the fuck that is. But You know what I mean? They have to be made and produced and assembly lines and shit.
And bought legally. It's
Yeah.
at least at the retail level.
But the thing is, like, you say, yeah, well, you know, the criminals get guns. Yeah, that's the fucking problem. It's so easy to get that criminals got them.
Well, see, I don't agree with disarming everybody in the country.
No, I don't
But
agree either.
I agree with, yes, there should be stricter gun laws.
I definitely ain't trying to go take anybody's guns away, but I'm saying, like, from this point going forward,
If you ain't supposed to have the motherfucker, take it away.
can you control? Or at least just keep a note. I don't care if I know
Accountability.
you got them. At least like, if you walked around with a rifle, that'd be, all right, at least I know.
Right.
But motherfuckers got damn pistols hidden in their shit. That's some cowardly shit.
You know,
And that's what the motherfuckers end up shooting the fuck out of you.
brandishing
absolutely.
weapons too causes like public. Like I was in Walmart the other day. Some fucking weirdo looking guy walks in there with a damn Glock and a holster hanging on his belt, and
Yeah.
it makes you fucking go,
Stay the fuck away from
yeah.
them.
Well,
Right.
what's he doing?
My shopping trip is over.
Yeah.
I'm over there watching where he's at.
I don't want none of them, neither of the two. But if I had to choose, do I want to have a weapon that I know the guy has one,
Right.
or if I know he doesn't? I'd rather know.
Me too.
Well, I mean, I probably would have been grateful if somebody came in the front door and decided to shoot up the place, and he dropped them for us. But
That shit never happens.
Yeah.
I know that's one of the arguments. Well, I'm not saying never happens,
Right.
but statistically, they shoot fucking
It's
innocent
very
people
rare.
all the
It's
time.
very
Hell,
rare.
cops shoot innocent people all the
All
time, and they're trained.
That thing in New York where they had that shootout out there in front of Times
Yeah, they
Square,
one
where
shooter and they shot like 9 people or
Yeah.
some shit like that.
and I don't think they hit the guy they were shooting at.
Was it 9? Was it a lot of people?
I don't think they
I mean,
killed
9's a lot
anybody,
of
but
people.
they injured them.
I'm thinking, wasn't it more than that? Wasn't it like 20 something people ended up getting injured or some
It
shit?
was a lot. There was bullets. I mean, because the cops were shooting across the street. It was one. There's like 8 cops like this shooting
Just
at one
shooting
guy.
the fuck out of one guy.
And they're
And they didn't kill him at all?
they might have killed him, but they, you know, there's people behind him and all this other shit. Were getting shot in the legs and all that
That's
stuff.
bad training. You can't shoot.
What was he gonna do? He said he had a bomb, or
I don't remember.
I don't even remember something. But
That's the thing, man. The only way you can like have like official training is to be in situations where shit's going down. Who out there is putting themselves in these situations so that they can be trained when somebody shows up with a gun?
Yeah, shooting in New York City though around buildings. I mean,
I play Call of Duty. Shit, man, I'm trained.
yeah, hell yeah,
I'm
They
ready.
out there.
that bullet's ricochet and bounce and go
Shit.
every which direction.
Man, I play Left 4 Dead, man. I kill
Yeah.
zombies like a mother.
You remember the last few minutes of Unforgiven when Clint was shooting up that saloon?
Yeah.
What was everybody in there doing?
Oh, god damn it. He was just putting them down.
Get down and crawl.
I don't know. But back to the Zimmerman thing, I think maybe, you know, because you can't prove that it wasn't self-defense, that does create the reasonable doubt, and so maybe he doesn't get murder, but how can he not get the involuntary manslaughter or the negligent homicide?
Something.
Even the
Which
most
the guy-
minimal
Some kinda-
charge
Yeah.
him so people don't go do this and know there's no consequence.
Yeah, the guy that accidentally shot his friend,
Right.
how can
going
that
to jail.
charge not be applied to this guy?
And that guy that shot his friends probably, I mean, he'll be punished enough just by living with what he did.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, putting him in jail. What the fuck? I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
it serves no purpose. He probably got a job, so let's take him and lose his job, lose his house, lose everything he's got, lose the respect of his friends and family. Not get a job when he gets out. Let's put him in jail for a while because
Yeah.
that'll make him not be careless with a gun again.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Yeah,
there should be
total
some
accident.
kind of charge for just fucking with somebody the way he did, stalking or just something.
Yeah, I mean, what the thing is too, especially how it went down. Nothing Zimmerman did was technically illegal. Even the following is not like he's stalking the motherfucker. He's neighborhood watch. He's watching somebody. He's following and watching. So still, that's not. You can't consider that stalking. Stalking is a lot more involved than that.
Oh yeah, I stalked a bunch
And
of people.
and I mean, you don't have to listen to 911. You don't have to. But that's when he created the situation because they said, you know, they advised him. They can't order him to do shit. They offer their advice and
Follow
their
him.
recommendation.
Leave him
Don't-
the fuck alone.
leave
The
him
cops
fuck
will be
alone,
there.
yeah.
They'll talk to him.
And I mean, he's the one that created a situation that created an environment where somebody is dead. So I don't know, but I think there might be some kind of Department of Justice going after him, maybe
There
some
is
other.
DOJ's going after him. And I
For
said
what?
that for the
Civil
beginning.
rights?
If you looked at my post from Sunday morning after he got found innocent, I said I'm surprised that the state prosecutors, but ego gets in the way in every business, including ours. You know, they didn't go to the FBI or the DOJ and say take over, because then you got a federal prosecutor assigned. There's a 98% conviction rate across the board, and if they take the case, they're not going to take a case they can't win. If they take it on whatever charge, they're going to get a charge. They're going to get a guilty on this guy. But the state of Florida said, back off, we want to handle it. And I think they were inept in what they did. Now the DOJ is stepping in, and they're saying, well, wait a minute, we got to look at this for civil rights violations or hate
Is that what they're going to charge him with?
Something like that.
Well, you know why that whole thing, the whole...
right now, if you went to jail, it'd be considered protective custody. Anyway,
yeah, but like,
probably.
you know why they came up with those civil rights charges, and because
I have an idea, Mike, but why don't you tell us?
you know, don't you?
I wasn't even paying attention.
Do you know why the federal government started prosecuting people for civil rights violations? It was because it was murder cases. Because murder is a state crime; it's not a federal crime. And then back in the
Unless you
40s,
kill somebody across the border. If you kill them in Virginia, they fall into Maryland, then it's federal.
Gotcha.
only if they fall straddling the state line. No. But they,
Well, if you kill a federal employee.
yeah, but the Ku Klux Klan was going around killing black people in the South back in the 20s and 30s.
I don't believe you.
We should ask.
Were they wearing hoodies?
Broderick McQueen.
Motherfuckers
He could
are
tell us
hoodies.
all about it. But then they couldn't get a. They never would get a conviction in the state judicial system. So then the federal government, to do something about it, said, okay, we'll go after them for civil rights, and then they were convicting them all. Because
Did you learn this in one of your meetings with the Grand Wizard?
I was gonna say.
What the fuck do you know this shit?
Hey, let's go burn a cross.
Where did
Cross.
Champagne? Where did he get that fucking?
That was a
outfit
good
from?
question. Marty's got a damn full blown real deal.
He showed up with it one day. I don't know if he still got it.
Well,
At a
of
wrestling
all,
show.
of all the people you
Clan
told me
outfit.
would have had a Klan outfit, and you said Marty, it would not be a shocker to me that was the guy.
I just, man, that whole racial shit is so silly to me. I can't even put it over.
Ridiculous.
It's the year 2013, isn't it? Haven't we
Well, I mean, the two, you can't deny it exists.
Yeah, but it's
And
not.
you can't deny that fucking white people have it easier.
Hey, of course
But it ain't my
do.
fucking fault.
No, hey,
But I don't deny it. I'm like, shit, what do you want me to do?
That's reality.
Motherfucker, y'all didn't pick me in basketball because I'm white. Had nothing to do with the fact that I was 4'2" and couldn't shoot with the shit. It's because I'm white.
I don't know. I mean, the effort that's put into creating all this hostility could probably be better served put into like a more positive.
Oh, shit, man. People are always going to be assholes. That's what you can't change.
Right.
And the thing is, we don't have to like everybody. There's fucking 7 billion people on this planet. I gotta like all 7 billion of these motherfuckers.
Oh,
There's only a few. That
I don't even like most of my friends half the time.
I can't like everybody. I mean, as long as you don't fuck with them and take rights away from them, who gives a fuck if you don't
shoot
like
them
them?
dead.
Yeah, don't treat them. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean you got to treat them bad, but man, sometimes you meet people. We've all met people, and right off the bat, you just didn't like them.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes you grow to like them.
Oh, you looking at us too? Oh, we like each other. We just disagree on everything.
Maybe you grow to like them. Maybe you learn from something. But then there's people you meet and you like, and you end up fucking hating them. Right?
How come we not like
We
each
ain't got
other?
like
remember,
everybody.
remember we all first met? We got to watch Bill Eadie beat some kid senseless.
You know why I did that?
Virginia.
Didn't like it.
You didn't like him. See? They just
didn't
didn't
like-
like the motherfucker.
Actually, he told me he liked the kid. He didn't like the kid's attitude.
He gave
That's
him
a part of
adjustment.
it.
He disrespected that motherfucker, didn't he? Good God
Why
Almighty.
does everybody gotta like everybody?
I don't like anybody.
There's no way that's ever gonna happen.
I just hate people. They're the worst.
We are the worst species on this planet by far.
Yeah, we are. We really are.
See, that's the thing. Instead of focusing on some impossible shit, like there's ever gonna be this fucking crazy harmony. See, I'll just focus on shit that might be attainable.
Right.
The equal rights. That shit is obtainable. We're never all gonna just fucking love each other. That shit just ain't gonna happen. Especially with me.
I would love to see our government put less effort into foreign countries and put more of it here.
Well,
When we get our shit, when everybody in this country is fed and has housed and clothed and has medical attention, then we'll go try to help somebody
See,
else.
our country has the concealed carry mentality. We're fucking tough because we got the fucking weapons and we just bully the shit out of the rest of the world.
Well,
Every now and then we do some good.
that stands
Right.
your
Just
ground.
do our share of
do
bullying,
something
though.
little good, help some people out, and then we go and fuck some shit
you know,
up.
these other countries are saying in some foreign language, "Fuck, the Americans are gonna come. We're done."
That
They got all the guns.
Until China just whoops our fucking ass.
yeah, that's
one day.
coming.
Well, everybody in China could just get on a chair, all jump off at the same time. We'd probably
Yeah,
cause
we'd
a
all go
tsunami
flying
to-
up in the air.
Well, cause a tsunami to wipe out the whole U.S. They just haven't figured it out yet. 7 o'clock Thursday night, everybody on a chair, all jump off at once. Boom, tsunami kills everybody in the U.S. They all.
Do you believe in dinosaurs?
I look in the
You
mirror
know,
and see one.
that theory is flawed.
And,
What, the
and
chair?
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Chair
that
jump?
wouldn't work.
That shit will.
How do you know it wouldn't work?
Because of Newton's third law of physics, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Okay.
It's literally when they all stepped up onto the chairs, if they could actually coordinate it and all do it simultaneously, they would literally
long.
be pushing the Earth away. and then when they jumped off, it would come back, so it would be a net energy of 0.
You know, when I'm
That's
getting
probably all
when I'm getting
bullshit, but it
science-
sounded good
when I'm
enough
getting
that I'm just going
science
to
lessons from
accept
them,
it.
I ain't buying it. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's the theory of conservation of energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be
I
shifted.
know it's the black hole theory. I understand completely.
No, that's a completely different theory.
No, because I met her one time in Georgia.
The black hole?
Black hole.
God damn
He
it.
was good too.
I think Brickhouse Brown was
Oh,
the one that
He
introduced
trying to
Dude,
get
he's a
one of them
funny
office
motherfucker.
jobs.
Yeah.
he's a funny dude.
So what else? You guys got you got any other shows coming up other than the one this Saturday?
I got nothing soon. August 10th, NWA Rage in
Where's that based out of?
I think they're on Nashville, North Carolina.
Asheville or Nashville?
Nashville. Is that the
Nashville.
guys that run the Grand Ole Armory?
No, that's Edge, and Rage is the spin-off of, you know, when groups fight and they go off on their own.
Oh my God.
So
No,
they're,
but-
they're all mad?
Rage, yeah.
They're fighting over Nashville, North Carolina, population
Not really.
800.
I think it's a creative differences. But Rage has got me and Cusick and Lou Marconi and Sean Danny, and if they got some good talent both. They got me. So
There you go.
some good talent. They got me. And then August 17th, NWA Worldwide is at Hampstead, North Carolina, at Topsail Middle School. It's a benefit for an 18-month-old with brain cancer. So it's our second benefit in a year for
Who was
kid
that?
with cancer. Kimberly Bachelor last year. We did August.
Is that the tombstone you
Yeah,
posted?
we
That was
had
that girl y'all
604.
did that show?
Yeah, she had a tough one. There's only 30 people in the world with a type of cancer, and they couldn't figure it out. And she lost her battle.
Only 30 people had that type of cancer?
Only 30 people in history had brain cancer. She was at Duke. She had the best treatment in the world. We had a show for her last August. We raised $10,100 for in cash for her parents at night to help her out. Or her mom. She lost her dad the year before. It's been a rough time for
Damn.
people. Yeah, she was a real sweetheart. Very courageous. And but we're doing another one for a little baby, 18-month-old. Mia's her name. Tries to raise some money for her and some funds, and we all chip in. And these seem to be our best shows. We draw the
He's
best.
bringing
we
me
make the most
down,
money. No, it's it's a good thing to reach out and help people that are less fortunate.
It's amazing, man.
All of us that have children, we know how blessed we are to have
Yeah.
children that are healthy. We can only imagine how rough it is and how hard it is to have a sick child. So
And how it's, man, it's just pure luck that you're not born with something fucked up.
That's the lottery.
Because you don't do anything. You do nothing to be born.
Right.
And the theory now is you're not even actually the fastest sperm. There's other sperm that fucking weaken the barrier and you sneak through.
That's a story
That
of my life.
explains a lot.
So it's like, yeah, you're not even the best one. You're just one that fucking, you sneak in the back door there.
I break
Back
the barrier.
door.
and
Back
somebody
door.
else-
That's
Back
definitely
door
not.
explains a
That's
lot.
definitely not how it happens. But yeah, man. But if you're born and you're healthy, 10 fingers, 10 toes, all that shit, man, that's just luck. Cause you didn't do shit to do it, earn it. Fucking, it's crazy. And there's so many different diseases and conditions and situations out there, man. It's
Well, I know. You see the commercials on autism that you have a 1 in 97 chance. Jimmy Cicero's got 2 children with it. I mean, it happens. It's rampant. I mean,
and so many different theories now on where it comes from. And I consider that more of a condition.
It's a chromosome. Isn't it a chromosome defect or something?
I have no idea exactly what causes it.
It changed,
It's
man.
a lot of
If
work.
you study autism, like there'll be a new paper out every month
Yeah.
on and there's so many different varieties of it. And sometimes the kids can't really do much at all, and sometimes they can do some of the most amazing shit you've ever heard of.
Chloe's,
Where you like,
Chloe's got autism.
where you like if this, yeah.
It's she. I mean, she's not. I know Cicero's. His kids have got a much more severe case of it. She's got a very. I mean, she's barely on the spectrum for it. But I can. There's things about her personality that you can look at and go, okay, but it doesn't hinder her.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it does some people.
And some people, like I say, not only does it not hinder them, some people do like just crazy, ridiculous.
Well, the ones with Asperger's, which is a form of it, they're highly functioning. They can be completely brilliant. So,
Mhm.
But
That's why I consider that a condition, because sometimes it's, man, you get this ability that that everybody else, average person, doesn't have. And that's definitely not.
Always got. She's very intelligent about some things, and then some things that seem simple, she doesn't grasp. Like she can do really complicated math on paper, but she, if you tell her to add 6 + 4, she's got to do it on a sheet of paper. And it's just
That's interesting as hell.
Yeah, it's odd, and things like that.
The human brain is insane, man.
Insane in the membrane.
Insane in the membrane. We only use a fractional percentage of it. What a shame.
That still too is kind of a theory too that we only use the percentage of it.
Some of us less than others.
There's still a lot of shit that goes on.
I'm saving mine.
The whole dream
I'm
thing.
saving mine.
Saving my memory banks are filled up. I know that. I can't remember shit no more.
Yeah.
If I remember
I'm right there
something,
with you.
I gotta delete some other shit. That's why I
Yeah.
think mine's a hard drive. If I'm gonna put some new information on there, I gotta delete some files.
My
There's only so much memory.
My
in there.
short-term memory is getting bad.
Huh?
What?
What?
Hey, when'd you get here? Who are you? Oh,
No, my short-term memory is getting bad.
Is
Like,
it better now that you don't bump as much? Even well, I don't know. You kind of it's been a long time since you might just be getting old.
I don't know. I just like I can remember things that happened a long time ago very clearly. Like I can remember names of people that I went to elementary school with.
But that's supposed to be an evolutionary thing. That's why people then when they get like dementia and stuff like that, that's why your short term goes first. Because that way you won't lose motor skills. You won't be able to forget how to walk and how to breathe. Well, not breathe, but you won't forget how to walk and talk and all that shit. But your memory will, go to shit first. I can't
remember people's names now. Like I'll meet people and they tell me their name. I see them again. I can't remember.
I ran into a guy in the store the other night and he goes, "Hey, Mr. Jackson, how are you?" My real name. And I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" And now I can remember kids I went to high school with.
Yeah.
They'll send me on my regular Facebook page, they'll send me a friend request, and I haven't heard or saw them in years. I know exactly who they were. But this guy, apparently, and I figured out who he was. He took down my carport like 6 months ago. I paid him to take it down.
And then once you figure it out, though, ain't it like just revelation?
Yeah.
But then you remember a million different things about the time you met him? Like he's a fucking blank
I'm
slate.
like, how did I forget
Yeah.
that time? Because they came and they couldn't take it down the one day because it was going to rain, it was windy, and they came back, and finally a month later they came back, and I gave this guy a hard time, and like...
There was this guy that
It's complete blank when
he was blind most of his life, and somehow they restored it. And he can't visually record information anymore.
Right.
So every time you walk out of the room, when you come back in, you're a new motherfucker to him.
Oh wow.
But he can so it's just they're learning that the brain records shit not quite as as easy as they thought.
Right.
Because he still remembers the sound. He'll remember your voice.
Right.
And maybe his smell. Maybe he'll recognize your cologne or your fucking odor or whatever. But visually, every time you
Even
come
in my
in,
place, what do you think?
ain't that? I mean, that's crazy as shit.
That's nuts.
But yeah, I remember like when I was just working super a lot. I remember there were times where I was driving down this damn highway right here.
Do you
And I was
remember
going,
where you were
where the
going?
fuck am
What
I
you were
going?
doing? Yeah, me too.
And I just went back home.
Me too.
Then I get home and like, fuck.
You knew where you were going. All of a
Yeah.
sudden.
Oh
It
God.
happened to me. It happened to me all the time.
I
I'm
think
supposed
it's a
to
lot
leave-
better now that I don't wrestle as much as I
Me
used
too.
to.
If I'm
too.
supposed to take something with me when I leave, I
Yeah.
can put it right there, and
Oh, worse.
I got there's my shopping list, or there's what I'm taking, and I'll be fucking 5 miles down the road and go, fuck.
Well, you do this, let me make. I'm gonna forget all this shit I gotta buy at the store. So let me make a list. I make a list of all this shit. I leave the list at home.
Oh yeah.
So I have to make a list to remind me to fucking take the list. I had to put I had to tie a string on my finger to remind
tie
me
it
to
to
buy a
the list.
list. And fucking tie it to my keys, and handcuff my keys to my damn belt loop before I can do
It's
anything.
terrible. I don't think people understand that when you're wrestling a lot, and you wrestled a lot more in your heyday than I did, but 100 nights a year even was, you're bumping and banging around and stuff, and
There's a lot of that brain rattling around.
Yeah, you get in that mental mode where you're lucky if you remember what you're going to do out there, but you don't remember anything else.
Yeah.
I remember coming back to the locker room and I couldn't think where I was at. Was it North Carolina or Pittsburgh or where I was? I just get undressed and hope it would come to me. Crazy stuff.
Hell yeah. I mean, you gotta imagine it's like a damn jellyfish bowl.
Yeah.
Fucking that water's in there.
It can't be.
That
good.
little jelly, even though the fish might not be moving too much, he's moving just enough to go, what the fuck are you doing? The brain's not meant to do that.
People ask me all the time.
Traumatized.
People talk about being on the road wrestling, and they're like, "That must be cool, man. You get to see all these cities, and you don't get to see shit."
A lot of
the
times you
hotel
don't.
and the building
Yeah.
and the airport, and that's it.
I've had some good moments where, especially like once you get used to it, you're like, all right, let's get there early
Right.
so we can go do this, and you'll get used to it. It's like, all right, now this is a good town, so let's stay here and we'll drive tomorrow. Especially overseas, we were real lucky because then we would have tours. And
Yeah, if you can get a little bit.
a couple of days. I know in Scotland we all went to a castle one time. Scotland. In Tokyo we always made, one time in Hawaii we all stayed out there for like a couple extra days.
The only way I could really think of to do it is if you just didn't go home. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you go home on Thursday and Friday. You know, if you're on the house shows, you back out on Saturday.
Did you ever read that book, Road Stories, that WWE put out?
I don't think so. No.
It's like whatever. It's some book of road stories, and there's one I had in there where I called the airport in Vancouver on Wednesday because I missed my flight, and they asked me when it was, and it was Monday night. And she goes, "What happened to Tuesday?" And I said, "I don't fucking know.
I have no idea.
That shit's gone."
The only time we get to do anything fun, I'm trying to remember where it was.
I would always miss my flight home from Vegas. Never once have I ever made my scheduled flight home from Vegas.
That's intentional.
I woke up in a swimming pool in Vegas one time. That shit ain't healthy. Kids, do not do that at home.
Oh.
That's like when women go out and have a good night out. They talk about it forever. When guys do it, it's not supposed to be mentioned ever again.
Probably shouldn't be.
I can tell you a Vegas story off the air.
Fucking Vegas, there's something wrong with that town. You know what the most evil city in
That's
the
that
world?
mob mentality, though. You know, you go there, you're thinking it, and it's like that. You know, when I talk about, I don't know if how much you watch the show, but when I talk about charisma, I think it's something real.
Right.
I don't think it's just this intangible. I think there's a fucking energy that people exert,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
and that certain
Yeah.
people receive it, and certain people just they fucking can't exert it. Some people maybe they can,
Right.
or whatever the fuck. You know, maybe they can turn it on and off. I think I can turn mine on and off.
Right.
You know, I think I can put on that fucking mask and it's there.
Right.
And whatever, you know, but fucking Rocky,
Put on the hoodie. It's gone.
the hoodie,
You're
gone.
gone.
Now I'm
Yeah,
in.
but you know some people where they're just like that 24 hours a day.
Yeah, I'm saying they can't
They
turn
walk
it
in
off.
a room and it's just...
It lights
you know.
up. It's magnetic. You know, you turn, they walk in the
Right.
room, your eyes turn to them. I think there's something really there. And I know that sounds kabuki, but I
I
don't give a fuck.
know. I
I
agree
believe it.
100%.
I agree.
And I think that's what makes the mob mentality work. In Vegas, the whole city, it's like you go there and it's just something, this little seed that's growing in your mind. And you can just feel this fucking energy. Like there's going
I
to be some
agree.
debauchery in this motherfucker.
Place-
No matter what.
Yeah,
Places
it's almost
have
like
energy too.
Yeah.
the Devil's Triangle. You know, not the Bermuda Triangle, but the Devil's Triangle. Like you go in there, and you can do all this shit that doesn't count once you leave.
There's
I mean,
Vegas
and
is
you know, you
definitely,
go there and you know that, so it's like
Vegas has definitely got a
Badass
strong
home.
energy. But
A flight home from Vegas is just like regret. You can feel the whole plane.
I know.
Like and then, even if you
Everybody's
didn't do anything, it's just like I know all these motherfuckers did something. This guy was fucking a dog last night.
That's right.
She over there got gangbanged by Elvis. I know it.
That's right.
Like, you just know there's something going on
I'll
those
tell
flights.
God.
I'll tell you a place that I think the fucking devil lives there.
Raleigh, hell,
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
That fucking place is evil. You
There's
can't
some
feel it.
there's some evil shit going
But
on.
something's there,
In
man.
New Orleans.
Something's dark.
Nolans.
What is that fucking club that's there that's just, you have to like turn, like I couldn't get in it now, but you have to turn and slide through
There's
the
a bunch of
alley.
little teeny tiny ones there.
There was one, Rob Feinstein, I was talking to him the other day about it, and he knew exactly, it's called the Dungeon or some shit like that, but there's these two buildings, and there's a space about this wide between the two buildings.
It's
and
an alley you went down.
Yeah, and
just
you-
you know.
Yeah, but it's like, literally like 18 inches wide. Because even back then, like my chest, I couldn't hardly squeeze through it. I'd be stuck in there now. That'd be how I'd lose
You ever
weight.
been in there during Mardi Gras?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Mardi-
Fucking
Did
shit's
the
crazy.
Bourbon Street crawl?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but you had to scoot through this alley, which is like 100 yards, not 100 yards, it's probably 100 feet maybe. And then you come out in this little courtyard and you climb up like a fire escape. And there was a secret knock that you had to do. Somebody had to tell you what it was, and then the little fucking peephole opens up and
I
the
never
eyeball
did none of
comes
this
out.
shit.
Man, it's just as weird. It's like
Fucking
this,
Dracula there waiting on your ass.
Yeah, right.
yeah, it was all these goth people in there.
Wouldn't you think by the time you got to the knock, special knock with the eyeball, that you should probably go back?
Yeah, just get the fuck out of there.
I mean,
It's one of those damn.
That shit's gonna happen, dude.
What is that shit called? Ecstasy clubs or some shit like that.
A
where
rave.
everybody-
Rave.
Yeah, fucking.
Not that we know.
And you walk in there and it's like room. It's like an
I'll do
apartment.
3.
It's like a room like the size of this room. And
Rolls Royce?
there's a
Okay.
little bar over in the corner. And some fucking
Superman?
freak sitting there serving drinks.
Dolphin.
People sitting on couches. Then you go in this other room and it's just like there's a dead body hanging, and they drop it in acid at midnight or something. And it was like, man, I gotta get the fuck out of here. That was one of them places where I was like, I can't.
Listen, no more hallucinogens.
I
for
can't
you,
fall
Mike.
asleep in here.
The thing was, when I was at Mardi Gras, like I didn't even drink or anything at the time, so I was a sober guy going, but I had a fucking blast. But it was just mania down there, not WrestleMania, but
Yeah.
It was-
Oh, it's crazy.
A lot of boobies.
yeah,
I
but
like
a
the
lot,
food,
lot
though.
of some of those clubs are real teeny tiny, like that old architecture.
Yeah.
We ended up in a transvestite bar one night.
By design.
No,
You're on camera. You realize
I
that,
guess
dude?
the waiter that sent us there probably thought it would be funny.
How'd it turn out for you?
I kind of started falling back. I mean, a little heat in there. It doesn't matter to me. It was with a bunch of ECW guys, like that guy Angel that was one of the Baldies, was the one kind of leading the way.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't on Bourbon Street. It was like on a block off where you'll get killed walking over to it. So I see this place, and it's all dark. The street's not lit up, and you can see the light from inside the bar, and you can see these silhouettes of these girls, the big hair and everything.
Lots of makeup.
And I'm like, damn.
So was it a show? Dude?
No, it was a bar.
Oh.
And I was like, damn, these girls are tall. Because every one of them was like 6 foot tall, and I'm like, they're walking, and they'll have a guy with them, and the guy's like this much shorter than they are. So I started like falling back. And Angel walks right in the bar. And then he looks around, and he wasn't like the most politically correct bar.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could get in there and see in the light, and it was pretty obvious because some of them didn't look all that great. And he walks in and goes, "What the fuck is this? A gay bar?" And the bartender says, "Yeah, it's a gay bar, asshole. The fuck out." And I was like, I never came through the door. But, I was thinking,
I think that's the edited version of the story.
I didn't
I
think
think the real story is that there's no
and
angel.
They got drunked up, and they ended up face down, tied to somebody.
There was one time a bunch of us went to Little Rock, and it was a big club, and Little Rock's a wild ass fucking town too. It was like one of the crime capitals there for a while. But it was at a big club, and it was like a regular club on one side, but there was a drag queen show on the other. And them ones came out, man. They had all these damn fucking costumes, and
shit.
one of them had the electric light jacket like Jericho. Look at these motherfuckers. They just doing
Where
their
you
thing.
got that from?
What's that
Where
other?
you got that from?
What is that town in Arkansas that always draws so good for wrestling? It was old Memphis town they ran.
Jonesboro.
Jonesboro, that's it.
Yeah.
It's funny how certain towns are just good like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. Where am I going to be at this weekend? So we cover everything on there. Transvestites, Zimmerman,
That's it.
Anderson Silva. Anything else we need to talk about?
Where you at
I'll
this
be in
weekend?
Concord. I'm just doing a little interview segment gimmick. Easy, no bumps.
Nice.
Man, this past weekend in Miami was awesome.
I was going to
Yeah,
ask you
where
about
were
that.
you? I saw you. were-
Miami.
Comic-Con. Is that the
Yeah.
biggest one? San Diego's the biggest one.
San
you're at the
Diego's the big
Comic-Con?
one. Yeah, there's a Miami Comic Con.
You go to those things. don't
There's
you?
one here in Durham. Is that a good one? or
In
not?
Durham?
Yeah, I had Chloe in the comic book store yesterday, and I saw the advertisement.
It's probably a smaller
What do you
one.
do? Have a booth at those things, or do you
Yeah, I
go?
have
They
a-
hire you to go and be
Yeah.
somebody else's booth, or what?
Yeah, I got paid to be at a booth.
That's
And,
beautiful, man. No bumps. Good
Yes,
time.
but then there was a show there too, and there's a company in Florida where everybody has like a superhero theme. It's called Super Championship Florida Wrestling or something like that.
Right.
And so they've been dying to get me to work for them anyway because everybody's basically doing my gimmick.
Right.
How does that work?
They
out?
use actual, like, weren't you in there with Black Adam and somebody?
Yeah, and let me tell you a story about this guy. Now, Black Adam, I'll show you this for the people at home. Black Adam. So this is my favorite character of all time,
That guy looks white.
and it's a total coincidence. It's supposed to be Middle Eastern. One of his stories was that it was kind of like ancient Egypt was his thing, but now it's a different country. Do I have another one over there? Uh-oh, I hear Seb G down there making some fucking racket.
So there's no, like, DC Comics doesn't come around and try to make an issue out of this stuff?
No. He's just doing a comic convention. Everybody's dressed up as everybody.
Okay.
And so anyway, the main event match is me. I'm teaming with Link from Zelda, like a little elf green
Right.
guy.
Right.
And who's my other partner? Oh, the Green Arrow. He's both of you guys got arrows. I ain't got shit. And so anyway, we're against Joker, Bane, and Black Adam. And the guy Black Adam was fucking spot on. He's fucking diesel. He's got the look. I was like, this is fucking crazy. He's my favorite character of all time. And it was a total coincidence that they didn't know that this was my favorite character.
Right.
Because everybody thinks I love the Green Lantern, and I do. Obviously, I got the tattoo, but that's my number one. Anyway, so we do the show, whatever. The next day, Bane comes up to me with a picture. Bane had came to a WWE show one time, dressed up as me, makeup, cape, mask, fucking the t-shirt, the cape, all that shit. In the picture, I'm wearing a Black Adam shirt
Oh shit.
while we taking it doing the fucking pose together. Isn't that cool as fuck?
Small world.
And then the second night, I worked the guy that was from Clockwork Orange. He had the big fucking thing.
That shit was cool. Have you seen that movie?
No, I still ain't seen it.
You haven't seen that movie?
I bought it. I got it in my
Dude, let me tell you
library.
something, when that
You gotta
came
watch it.
out, there was nothing like it.
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick's my man too.
Yeah, I'll tell
That
you.
fucking movie is great. You know that gleam that you say I get?
I know.
Yeah.
That's where I got
I
that
gotta
gleam
watch
from.
it. Me and the waitress might watch that tonight.
Oh man, you
Should.
You're gonna love it.
I mean, you'll love this. You know, Mike knows. Like sometimes I'll be sitting there trying to think of something to say on the microphone, and and I'll just get frustrated and say, fuck it, just let me go out there and let me do it.
Right.
And I'm money on the fly. If I sit there and try to think of some shit, I can't do it.
Right.
You know, but you sit up there and just put it in my hand and put that red light on. I don't know where it comes from.
But
then I see the guy with the fucking
gets
thing
flipped.
on his head, and I'm going,
Yeah. I know where I'm going with this.
oh boy. The whole crowd was chanting dick face before the end of the
that's
match had
great.
even started. And it was a really
That's
good
great.
match, man. I was so super happy with that. Anyway, we did 4 days of that, man. Just pictures and autographs. The waitress was selling pictures because we got a picture of her. It looks and like we got a picture of her. It's one of these. And I was like,
I saw it. She working now.
well, actually, hold on, man. The people watching at home, there's the one. That's the one we put out there.
You really got to get me a monitor.
I printed that up because I say, baby, I said, let people buy mine because she is a champion figure model.
Right.
She there's fucking big statues over there beside Thor with the big titties.
Crap.
Yeah, she's got those are her shits. That ain't mine with the titties. Mine's are the one without the titties. And hers are my statue's over there like fucking this big and she I don't know, giving me a fucking
It's
complex.
never fair, man.
Giving me a complex, man. Giving me a complex.
Boobs get the bigger
Anyway, she
picture.
was selling them, man. We had a great time. It was awesome.
I got to go to one of those one time.
She thought I was gonna do the proposal there because she's known I've had the gimmick.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You've had it. You showed it to me back in April or something.
It's been a while. I've had the ring. Did you know I got engaged?
Yeah, I think.
Why didn't we mention that? Congratulations.
congratulations.
You
Yeah,
guys
well,
don't care because you don't care.
You posted. She said yes. I said congratulations to you both.
You don't care. You guys don't
I know,
care.
but I thought we should talk about that on the
Here's
show.
what I did though. Here's how you get smooth. Because I was trying to think of a way to get everybody together, and not she wouldn't know, not
Right.
make her suspicious.
Right.
So I got my friend Michael Cherry down the street to text her and say I want to plan Shane a surprise birthday party. So she's been planning me a surprise birthday party that I've known about the whole fucking
Right.
summer. Yeah, so but really, so she got there and like she gets with my parents and we go out to eat so that these people can come over and set the house up and they put a happy birthday banner up on the fucking kitchen and there's a cake and all that and they had a cake made for me and all this bullshit. And then we get there and my friend Mike makes an announcement, you know, that some people got to leave because Matt and Jeff came up. Jeff had to fly out the next day for a TNA show. So some people had to leave, you know, and they drove all the way up here just for that. It was really, you know, really cool night. We got my mics confused. I said, make sure you invite Mike. And they thought I meant Michael Yamaha, which I did.
Right.
And obviously, but I thought Karen had taken care of Michael Yamaha. And I thought Michael Cherry was going to get him snubbed.
Damn.
But I texted him right away. I was like, fuck, I wanted you. But anyway. But the thing was, Karen thought it was just going to be a small thing, too.
Right.
So she didn't go all out, like inviting everybody. She just wanted to have a little small thing because she knows how private I get.
Right.
Shit, you know. Anyway, longer story shorter, make an announcement, you know, whatever. We need to go ahead and open up the gifts real quick. So, and I made sure Cherry told everybody, I said, tell everybody not to buy me a fucking thing. This really isn't about me. So no birthday gifts. I did kind of rib myself on that because I didn't get a fucking thing.
You should have said, everybody buy a lot of gifts so it'll be convincing.
Yeah, I kind of ribbed myself on that.
Not a
But I didn't
nice
get fucking
shit,
nothing.
So it's real convincing.
But I did get something because, you know, sitting there and she's over beside me and I tell her, you know, I was like, you know, everybody, y'all probably got a text from Karen or Mike or what Karen doesn't know is that I got with Mike to set this whole thing up from the get-go. And she's like, what? And so she still hasn't quite got it. I was
Right.
like, yeah. And then I go, so baby, none of this is for me. This is all for you. And she's like, what? And then something's starting to creep up her spine. She
Right.
knows. And then I had the box in my pocket and I pulled it out and we do the whole fucking thing. She was really, it was pretty cool.
He's going to get me choked.
Worked
I know, I was
worked
getting
out
all
like,
teary-eyed.
hey,
It's,
it's all up here. It's all psychology, boys.
that's right.
You
I've been planning that shit for a long time.
Swerved him, didn't you?
I had that plan. I had that
Only a
idea.
wrestler would do it that way.
That's right.
I had that idea
Swerve.
ever since Sebastian. You know, once I, you know,
Now, how'd she get smart to the ring? How'd she know about it?
cause man, I couldn't get the ring without her knowing.
Yeah. God forbid
Yeah,
you
I
got
saw
it,
that
you found
fucking
it.
ring.
Cause she didn't see it.
Which one of y'all's houses did you mortgage to get
Well, the
that
thing was, I got 3 stones because it's not just her. It's Sebastian and Braxton too.
Right.
So that was the psychology
Did
behind
you
the
see
3
my
stones.
ring of Calabas analogy?
That's what that was. When I read it, I knew it. I was like, that's from somewhere, but I can't remember what it is.
Clash of Titans.
Yeah. Oh, you sneaky bastard. You got me on that. Because Karen's like, what's he talking about? I was like, I don't know. But I was like, but I knew something was in there. I was like, what is
Lord
that?
of the Marsh.
That's right.
Damn
Lord
it.
of Mars.
But, yeah, that's why I had
Wants
3
that
stones.
cake.
I tell you what's annoying, though. People that get on my Facebook and they go, it's about time. Make an honest woman out of her.
saw
It's like,
somebody put that.
Wait a
I'm like,
second, I
that's
think I
not-
put that.
did you? Asshole.
Like,
I think I put it's about time.
I was like,
I'm like, Come
Well,
on,
now you
man.
showed me that ring like 2 or 3 months ago, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna propose. And Victoria's like, when? And I'm like, I don't know.
Well, it's different from people I know, but like from total strangers and shit, going to make an honest woman out of them. Going, what is she, a whore or something?
I didn't say
I know,
that.
right?
I just meant I've
couple
known
of
you
people
had
saw
the ring
that,
for
though,
a
and I'm
while.
like,
A couple
what if
people
he
do
knows-
say, make an honest woman. Like, that's
So
a
what if
fucking,
he knows this person?
what's the stupid thing to say?
I know.
You can get away with the about time because you knew I had the ring.
That was
Right,
all
so-
I meant. I didn't.
right.
No, I'm talking about you. I know you. Well, even if I did, you know you're an asshole.
Yeah.
So it would just
So I
would just
it
be
would
true to
fit
my own nature.
Yeah, it would fit your nature.
Right.
You can't go against nature.
Negative reinforcement, which on the
I
fly,
like it.
that was a damn good gimmick on
It
the
is
fly.
a good gimmick.
Especially since I was killing you guys with logic. You guys just weren't having it. Because that shit
Well,
is going to
that's-
be over.
It's only logic from your standpoint. From my standpoint, it's rhetoric. Because what was supposed to
that's
happen
a
that
good
night
word.
didn't happen.
Don't start
No,
that.
No,
come
whatever
on, we
was
can't-
supposed
we
to
can't.
happen
Well,
did
we're already a
happen.
week later.
No, that night you
The
didn't
crowd was
like
supposed
you,
to crap on it?
No. The first time Stone Cold Steve Austin did the stunner, what did the crowd do?
I was there. I know exactly
What did they do?
They said, "Hey, you stole Johnny Ace's move."
Oh,
So was it an epic fail?
that night?
Yeah.
Overall.
Overall,
No.
obviously not. Just
No,
you just saw the seed, and you came out not
gotta
liking
look
them.
at
You
the debut
you had a
epic
heel
fail.
reaction, and you don't realize it's a heel reaction. Yet
might
you
be
have the
true.
interest.
That might be true.
Yeah, because Q, nobody does heel stuff like how we came up. You
That's
can't,
true.
because they know. So then now there has to be a different way to get a heel reaction.
You might have a point.
Swerve.
You might have a. You know what?
You see, you get them going this way, and then
You might have a valid point there, Shane Helms.
See, now in the
I'm
Shield,
gonna think about that the whole hour and 15
the
minutes
Shield
home.
kind of got booed last night because they attacked Mark Henry because the crowd is so loving Mark Henry now.
Right. Right. I
Yeah,
know.
so even Mark Henry's heel, he gets a lot of fucking cheers. I
Right.
mean, that damn line between heel and babyface is so blurry now,
Yeah.
and it's wide
Not
as
like
a
it
4-lane
was.
highway. It
Yeah.
ain't nowhere close to how it was.
Yeah.
do you read a lot of the gossip on the internet?
Fuck no, can't do that shit.
Do you address any of it?
Not unless it comes to me.
No.
I don't know. I mean, throw something at me.
Okay, yes.
I just, I read
Gossip girl?
I read some of this stuff, and all these guys on there, and girls, you know, they're marks to begin with, and they think they're smart, and they all take it and run with it.
Right.
And I don't say shit because I'm thinking I don't want to look like a fucking idiot when this turns out to be
Shane
bullshit.
says being called a mark's not always a bad thing.
No, that's why I got into it.
I read something about Roman Reigns has heat in the locker room. Have you heard anything about that? The thing sounded far-fetched to me, which is
Yeah,
why
I've heard that about fucking everybody
Right.
at some point in time.
they said this thing said, and this just don't sound legit to me because I don't think anybody would actually do this. That he had a match with Randy Orton, and Randy Orton messed something up, and Roman went back in the locker room talking shit about him. If he did, that would make him extremely fucking stupid.
Right.
I mean, it's possible it could happen, but
I guess.
I don't fucking
Yeah.
I can see why that'd get you heat.
Yeah, well,
What would you-
you gotta bring it to the guy's face if you're not happy with it. Don't bring it behind
I
his
wouldn't
back.
say shit to somebody that's been in the company for 12 years and I'm new.
Well, I probably wouldn't either. I'd say sorry.
Whatever happened
I
out
want
there,
to
I'm
keep
sure
my
it was
damn
my
job.
fault.
At that point, I would keep my job.
I read so much shit on those, back, especially when I was in WWE. I would read it because to me it was kind of like reading Entertainment Weekly if you're an
Right.
actor. Sometimes you just want to, keep your ear
Just see
to,
what they're saying.
yeah, keep your ear to the buzz, see what's going on, what are people buzzing about, what's hot, what's not, that sort of thing. I damn sure didn't take a lot of it to heart, and there's a lot that I just said this shit ain't true at all. It's like this guy's got heat.
Oh,
And I'm like,
God.
no, the fuck you don't. Everybody loves this guy.
Some of the
This
stuff,
girl's got heat. No, she doesn't. Everybody loves her.
some of the stuff they would say about me, I was like, where in the fuck is this coming from? It was like something I didn't even know what the fuck they were talking
There was a
about.
big one. The first big one that ever came out about me was that me and Brian Gewirtz would sit around and talk about comic books. Like the head writer of Raw.
Yeah, I
Like
know
we
who
just
he
sat
is.
around. Who, if you've been on Monday Night Raw, them writers are fucking running around
Yeah,
like
you
rats
can
in a
get 2
goddamn.
seconds to talk to
Yeah.
him. That's
They'll
doing
sit
something.
around.
And I was like, if I ever did talk about comics, it's probably because my character was a superhero.
Did he? Was that his idea?
He was behind it.
Because I don't know. I'm sure I've told you this before, but he came to me and Murray with the idea of doing comic book characters.
It never worked.
I don't know. He said, "Would you do it?" And I said, "Fuck yeah."
It wouldn't work.
I was
You got to
doing
have it in here. You don't love them.
Gotta have it in
You
here.
don't love them like I do.
I was loving that fucking paycheck I was getting at the time.
How about now?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about being in WWE? Walk to that mailbox I did?
This is me on Monday mornings.
Hell yeah. I just got a roadie check the other day. Them motherfuckers are still nice.
Oh,
Fucking Hurricane. The motherfucker sold some t-shirts.
There you go.
Sold some masks.
That's right.
At Gregory Helms, that motherfucker didn't sell nothing. I can't give them dollars away.
That's something.
I still got a few over there. You guys could
So being the businessman that you are, which gimmick did you prefer?
fucking Hurricane.
Yeah.
But the Gregory Helms was on a lot of pay-per-views.
Oh, yeah.
Gregory Helms had them good pay-per-view checks. But the Hurricane had a damn royalty check you can buy a house with.
When did they change you?
That was my idea. It just kind of plateaued at the
When
time.
did they?
2006,
And you were there to when?
2010. And I came back as the Hurricane though.
So
after the neck.
you
Okay.
you did the Gregory Helms until you got hurt, right?
Mhm.
And then you just came back
Mhm.
with the Hurricane.
Yeah. Well, I came back as Hurricane Helms with the MMA shorts and the hair in the rag. And then they wanted me to be on Sci-Fi. And I wanted to come back, wanted to have the gimmick without the mask. I wanted the full gimmick. And I wanted to just be a mask guy, would not necessarily call me a superhero, because a superhero put a cap on how serious the people would take me. You know,
There was no world championship in your future with that.
no. But if you just let me be a mask guy like Ray or Kane, then I could. Because I've been in main events. Like when I came back after the neck surgery, it was a run of house shows where the main event was me and Khali against Edge and Umaga. So I'm out there with the top guys. I'm in this main event slot. But with the Hurricane Helms, without the the logos and the thing, was just something was missing for me. So I wanted to have that, and then slowly my idea was that the mask creeps back into my gimmick somehow. But that I'm just not necessarily a superhero anymore. Just let me be a mask guy.
Did you
But
like
then they
doing
went to Sci-Fi. When we went to Sci-Fi, they needed a superhero character because it was a Sci-Fi channel.
Did you like doing that backstage interviewer thing?
Yeah, that's fun. It's easy. Not as easy as being a Hurricane. A Hurricane was easy as fuck.
See, that Bray Wyatt gimmick would be perfect for me.
Yeah, 'cause
I
you're
sit
crazy.
in the rocking chair at ringside while two other guys wrestle. Do you remember
There's
that?
two guys that wrestle. That one dude with the
Brody
red
Lee.
beard is like a big dude. Brody Lee, I know him. He's from New York State.
He was on that Dragon Gate show that Jeff had at his place. You remember him?
Yeah.
He's a big dude. Who's the other guy with the reddish beard? Bald
I
head?
don't know him.
He's a big
I
boss,
I
too.
saw his name, but I
He's a big boy too.
Their physicality could be a little bit more organized when they're doing their
They're
jumps.
kind of tripping and stepping
Yeah.
all over each
Yeah, I
other.
saw that with Kane. They were like all
It
just.
was
not-
the same thing with.
Did they get a
All
chance to
truth.
work together?
I don't know. I think they've been down at NXT doing a lot of shit. NXT apparently is on fire.
Did you see that new facility they built?
Yeah,
Where was that? I'd love to fucking have access to that place.
tell you what, that's coming out of somebody's paycheck.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Anyway, well, CueBall, thanks for coming in, man. We'll
Hey,
have
man,
you
thanks
back.
for having me. Appreciate
Yeah,
it,
man,
brother.
we need to get more into your early days the next time. Find out some more shit about
I
you.
He's got
can't
some
remember.
good
It's too
stories.
long ago.
We got them fossil fuels,
Just
man.
make some
We're
shit
going
up.
to the fossil records. Dig that shit up.
Let me go online and find somebody that's interesting. I'll steal their shit.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, well, thanks everybody for tuning in again. Heaven forbid.
Highway to Helms.